Hello, everybody. And if you are watching this, you are watching us live, Tourpreneur's first ever software demo day. We are really, really excited to have you. My name is Mitch Bach. I am one of the three Tourpreneurs. And today is going to be a phenomenal day of learning focused on a single question we get asked more than any other question in our very active Facebook group, which is, what booking software should I use? How do I even begin to make a decision? And today we have almost 20 booking software companies who are going to be sharing their platforms, some of which are very well known, some of which might be new to you. And before that, we're going to spend the next 20 minutes delivering some education on helping you select and integrate and automate your whole booking process as you think about the technology that supports you delivering a phenomenal experience. Before I bring up my cohorts, I wanted to just run you through the schedule. We are streaming live today on our Facebook group, our LinkedIn channel, our YouTube channel. So you can't avoid us. And more than that, these recordings will all be chopped up and edited and delivered into the Tourpreneur website. And those are going to be on our new software directory that we will be revealing later this week, a new tool to help you understand and make informed decisions and connect with these great companies. And so watch for that. More information will be shared after our event. Today, we're going to start with Peter, Chris, and myself, just having a little roundtable discussion about Restech. And then at 10:30, we have three of our phenomenal sponsored companies, Checkfront, TripAdmit, and ResD, coming up on stage to have a discussion with me about the future of Restech, about where are we headed and what are they working on, and what should we be thinking about as operators. And then finally at 11 o'clock Eastern, that starts 2 full hours of 8 quick pitches of these operators sharing their best practices, their best ideas, their best features for using their platform, hoping to make you do a rapid fire discovery of all sorts of new possibilities for your tour company. And then on Thursday, we're going to give you a data research. And then on Thursday, those of you who have RSVP'd on the Tourpreneur website, you can still do that today. We will be inviting you by sending you a link to our virtual networking software where you can go table to table and actually interact with our presenters or with a representative from the company. And those demonstrations are going to be happening all day on Thursday over a few hours. And you can actually see the software in action and see if it's right for you. The idea, as always, is to simplify the discovery process for you tourpreneurs out there, to make your lives easier, and also to just see what's out there in terms of fantastic companies, because there's a lot. Now, with that, I'm going, I will also share with you today the rundown of the companies demonstrating. So you can see we have a fantastic lineup here, companies you may have heard of or may not have. But without further ado now, I am going to bring up my two partners in crime, Chris Torres, Peter Syme. How is life in Scotland today, Peter?
Same as always, pretty dark, pretty miserable because it's winter,
dark.
but we're happy because we're talking technology.
Fantastic. Chris Torres, how are we? Oh, you're on mute, my friend.
It didn't automatically unmute me. That's strange. Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, as Pete says, it's actually very, very cold here in Scotland. So I think we do need to, can't wait to go to USA and Portugal next year with the Tourpreneur huddles to just get some heat in our bones, I think.
That's true. We've got some warm destination in-person events coming up that we're really looking forward to. Let us dive in. The next 20 minutes, I want to cover 3 groups of questions, and I want to get your opinions, Peter and Chris. Chris Torres, if you don't know him, he is a marketer extraordinaire from TMA, and more importantly, his job is to integrate hundreds and hundreds of tour operator websites with these booking software platforms. And Peter has been in the Restech industry since the Abacus, since you booked a tour on the Abacus. So I really want to understand your perspectives on using these technologies. But Peter, I'm going to start by asking you this. There's a lot of entrepreneurs just joining our community as it grows every week. And they come in and they ask this question, how do I accept bookings? And so what do you tell them, Peter? What do you tell them when they need a first discussion about what is reservation technology.
Yeah, I think we need to take it right back to the beginning, because obviously in the community, there's a whole range of operators from very experienced who've been using Restech for some of them over 10 years. And then we have operators who are coming in who have absolutely no idea what a reservation technology is. So we should really start with what is a reservation technology. I mean, it's a cloud-based system. What do I mean by in the cloud? It's you're paying monthly, it's hosted in the cloud. Go back 10, 15 years ago, lots of companies were using systems that were hosted on their servers or not using any system at all, using spreadsheets or whatever. So it's a service you're paying for on a monthly, yearly basis that's hosted in the cloud. Therefore, that takes the technology pain away from you as an operator. Most of them now accept online payments, so they will, if you want them to handle your payments, they can. I personally don't like that. I prefer handling my own payments and linking in to the online system rather than the online Restech Takema system. Some of them now work on a commission basis today, where they will add a percentage to your bookings. That's what goes to them, and you get the full price of the booking. Other ones will charge you a monthly or a yearly fee. So there's solutions for payment from them all. They will let you manage your schedule, let you manage your bookings. Critically, they now connect via APIs to the rest of the world. So your reservation system now allows you to connect to all the people that you want to sell your tours through, be that OTAs, other travel agents. Some of them literally have connections to hundreds and hundreds of resellers. And we know many in the community are only connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resellers. When I keep narking on that you should be connected to 20, 30, 40, 50, most of the reservation systems will let you do that. And it allows you, obviously, to keep track of your bookings across multiple channels. The thing I get the most benefit out of, if I think back, I adopted reservation technology on the cloud in 2007. The bit that it brought me was better organization in the business. After a year or 2 years, I could see my data. I could download my data. I could start to structure my business in a better way, making it more efficient. That was before we were connected with APIs and sales and everything. So the big win for me is always the structure and the efficiency it brings to your business. And I've always looked at the sales as icing on the cake, but not the cake.
I think that's a really good point, and I want to break down a couple of these points. One, in terms of efficiency, Chris, you handle a lot of sort of operators back office or back end. What do you see with this kind of word efficiency meaning in terms of your reservation technology? What should you expect it to do, and what should it probably not be doing?
Yeah, it's I sort of come down to sort of the three big easies, as I sort of say it. So one, you've got to make sure that the platform you're using is first easy to integrate into your website, to make that efficient for you in terms of time. Now, there's some systems that can be quite complicated, some that have APIs that you have to build systems for. But the way a lot of this Restech has developed over the years, it's as simple as adding a piece of code to a website into your product, and then someone can purchase your product directly on the website. So it's just making sure that the REST system makes that super easy for you, because not everyone is technically minded, especially when it comes to a lot of the operators out there. So make sure that that's easy for you to manage and integrate into your website. And the other one would be or the second point would be to make sure it's easy for your customers. No, the last thing you want is for someone to go to your amazing, great website. It looks amazing, looks fantastic. They get to the booking stage and it's just so complicated to use. There's too many buttons, too many call to actions, whatever that would be. You obviously want that user journey to be possibly no more than 3 steps. So gathering information, clicking the calendar, etc., to actually select your dates and time, filling in your information, paying, then paying. That's ultimately what you want it to do. Anything more than that, you think you're sort of starting to confuse customers and everything else from that. And then the last sort of big easy would be, make sure it's easy for you to manage your bookings. There is, again, all different systems are more complicated than others. A lot of the Restech do a really good job, but just make sure it's right for you, and then you can actually easily manage your bookings in the back end. So you get all the customer details, you can send them out emails, you have all that automated as well, and have everything set up to make it as simple and easy for you as possible, and that will just make your life a hell of a lot easier. So in terms of efficiencies, I'll be over those 3, I would say, would be the first 3 things you really need to look at.
I love that, and I also like this division between efficiency from the customer standpoint and also from your standpoint.
Mhm.
Everybody talks about growth and scale and more bookings. Well, that's actually not great unless you can handle it, both from a tech platform level, from an operational level on that back end. And I think more important, however, is that customer experience. There's always a very frothy discussion in our group about OTAs. Well, one thing an OTA delivers extremely well is a fantastic booking process. In other words, it's very fast to get to that purchase point. And if your website doesn't have a similar ease of booking journey, then it's going to be natural for any customer to go down the path of least resistance. And so your reservation technology is both a conduit via API, as Peter said, to all these different channels of selling, but then also it's competing with it by making sure that your website is up to the same class level as the big players. Peter, I want to ask you about selecting your technology. So we've talked about the fact that it probably is going to be helpful for you. How do you then go about making a choice?
Yeah, I think it's important before you get to the point of making the choice to also understand what reservation technology is not, as well as what it is. So it's not CRM. It's not a customer relation management platform, although many of them can do basic CRM. It's not an email automation system, although many of them do email automation for your booking process, but it won't do it as well as some of the specific email systems out there. It's not travel agent software. I know we have travel agents in the group. It's very different, and it's not itinerary planning software as well. It doesn't do these things. It's also, for most of them, not all, there is other ones, the range of ability of the reservation technology could be totally suitable for the majority of small operators who are doing day tours, but it may not be suitable for a full-fledged, packaged, multi-day operator who's doing much more complex things. There is a reservation technology that can deal with that. So I think operators have got to be very clear of what it's not as well. Sometimes these things I've just mentioned as a small operator you will not need. If you do need them and need them a lot, this is where you start to get into the part of building a technology stack where you're going to have a separate customer relation management from your reservation system. I do believe for the majority of operators, certainly the small ones, a reservation system will do most of what they need, certainly in the early years. So when it gets round to selection, again, I'm going to say what you don't do, which we see every single week. Every week, people go into the Facebook group, post in there, what reservations, I need to pick a reservation technology, what do you recommend? That is a completely and utterly wasted effort, wasted time, because what another operator is recommending to you, it may be working brilliant for them, but unless they know everything about your business, your tours, how you're set up, because I've yet to find two operators that run exactly the same, even when they're in the same verticals, a recommendation in this place is not that strong from other operators because they don't know what you're doing. If they're very aligned with you, if you're a food tour and you're operating food tours with another, and you can know another operator and you're very similar businesses, you know each other, accept that recommendation. But just taking 20, 40 comments in the community group is not really going to get there, right? You've got to create a document way before you actually get to the question of what technology should I take, what reservation technology. You've actually got to document absolutely everything you want it to do for you, right? And that document, if you do it correctly, is going to be 40 or 50 lines. You've then got to segment that document and get it down to the top 10 things that you want it for you that will make the most difference for your business. Top 10. It has to be prioritized. And then your next 10, and I can tell you now, it's not going to do 50 things for you. It's just not. They're not going to do that. Right? So you've got to prioritize what you want it to do for your business, document it. So you're creating a recommendation here for it. So when you engage with them, you're going through a tick box situation. And really, really look at your own processes in your business to come up with your top 10 things that must happen from your reservation technology.
I think that's such a great point. It really is. No, that, and it's one of the things you see in the group quite often is a lot of operators will get hung up on trying to find that platform that will do absolutely everything for them, know the 100% of everything that they need. And as good as all these Restech systems are, and there are many, many good ones out there, you're not going to find a system that will do 100% of what you need. And as you say, have your top 10, top 20 in there that they must do, and then go from that, and anything else is an absolute bonus. So, and that's such great points. And creating that list, I think, is a great thing that every operator should be doing.
I think
I
some of the
do think we need to make or get across to the operators, because I have seen complaints in the group, prices, and it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. We have nearly 200 different reservation systems available to operators. They're all super cheap, or in some cases free. Nothing's free, but the customers are paying. Right? So as a community and as operators, we're actually spoiled with this technology. We've got hundreds and hundreds of systems to choose from. They're all pretty good, and they're all super cheap. And if anybody doesn't think they are, well, they've not been around technology long enough, because I can remember when technology like this used to cost an awful lot of money. So we're really privileged to have access to all these great techs. Just because one doesn't work for you, there's going to be another one that will work for 80 to 90% of what you're going to do. I've yet to find anybody that's going to get 100% hit rate.
I think another, I guess, perspective on this that I've been experiencing is that sometimes the owner makes a decision almost in a vacuum without the input of their team, all the way from their guides to their accountant to the various people that are actually all going to be using that software. And maybe starting with the needs of your guides, the needs of your accountant. What are the pain points in transferring data between important participants in the experience? And if it's easy for you, that's great. But ultimately, it needs to be great for cohering your team. So I would also start with a discussion with your team. What works, what doesn't work in terms of their experience of running the company with you. Chris, I did want to sort of talk about just really quickly the question of, Peter said it's almost free. Well, it's not. There's certainly what people see as maybe a monthly fee or a percentage or whatever. When you're integrating or looking at taking these widgets and putting them into the website, why are you deciding to have an operator use booking software versus a WordPress widget, which might be a one-time cost? What's the value add from your perspective of someone who is managing kind of the back end and the websites of these companies?
Yeah, it's a very good question, actually. No, there is really good WordPress themes out there that will manage bookings for you. They have integrated booking systems. They work very well, to be honest, and they could do fine for a lot of operators. But what they don't tend to do is manage your inventory easier than a lot of these booking systems can do. It doesn't sort of allow you to manage any. If you get tour guides, and some systems will allow you to manage tour guides and assign them to certain tours, it won't allow you to do any of that side of things. It often doesn't connect to OTAs. So if you are going to use an OTA and you want to connect to them or any other platform like Google Things to Do and all these different things, that's where a booking Restech system will be able to help with that, and they can do all that automatically because they've spent the infrastructure and the time, and that is basically what you're paying your commissions or monthly fees for them to develop all that. So although these themes have really good booking systems on their own and can work for a lot of operators, if you're looking for something extra and to manage a lot of your bookings in a more meaningful way and connect to CRM systems and all these other things I'm talking about, that's when you really need to start looking down the route of a Restech system. And again, as Peter says, for what they can do and the amount of things that it can connect to and the efficiency, as we spoke about, that it can do for your business, paying 6% or paying a small monthly fee really is a drop in the ocean, to be honest.
Yeah.
That simple systems don't give you a reporting suite. And one of the strengths of any Restech is giving you a decent reporting suite. On any day, on any week, on any month of the year, you can see exactly where your business is. How many customers have I had over the last quarter? How many customers this month? And what's my revenue? What's my average price of sales? And there's multiple reports with a couple of clicks of buttons that you can be pulling down instantly. So you've got a picture on your business performance on your phone, like that you're able to address constantly. Because often when operators are busy, they get carried away and they don't actually know how the business is performing until the end of the quarter, or sometimes even more, when the bookkeeper or their accountant tells them how it's performing, where really you need to be knowing on a weekly basis how your business is performing. And some of the Restechs have got really good reporting suites that you can, even in this world of hypermobility, you can be anywhere in the world when your business is running. You just log on your phone and you see where your business is performing. That to me is worth the money in the first place.
Peter, give me an example of some of that data that an operator should be thinking about. You were an operator for 25 years. What power is in that data that you can get from your Restech?
Yeah, the data is everything to me, and it takes a couple of years to get all your data into a reservation system, because you could load your previous customers in, but you're probably not getting a big high return rate of customers anyway. So once you adopt a reservation system, it's going to take you a couple of years to get 2 full seasons through their worth of data in to start being able to make professional judgments on your business. But on a week-to-week basis, revenue is a simple one. How many customers have I had? What's the revenue I've got? And why do I need to know that? Because I'm looking at previous customers' revenue for the same week. Is this week matching the same week the year before? Am I up or down on the week before the same year? Because I need to know that. Because if I'm down, why? What's the reasons I'm down? Seems like the market's okay. Therefore, is my marketing, and is something gone wrong with my marketing that I'm down? And you can go back multiple years. You can go back 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, depending on the Restech, how much data they're holding. So you're doing a comparison year on year, week by week. It's all about the revenue, the profit, average sales price. What am I selling it? Is my prices, am I gaining more revenue per customer or per booking? Because you want to see per customer, you also want to see per booking. So is my revenue per booking climbing? Is my revenue per customer climbing? All of that comparing again, because otherwise you don't know if you're growing or not. And I want to know if I'm growing on a weekly basis. Because you have a bad week, I have a bad month, really hard to catch up. So you need to know that in advance so you can address your marketing. Do I need to put more money into PPC? Do I need to put more money into Facebook? And is there something on my website not working? Yeah. I've often seen my PPC was down because of my Restech was telling me my numbers was down. So I'm jumping onto my marketing and something on my PPC was wrong.
It's a great winter for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a great winter project to sort of uncover the types of reports and data that you can start to run in analytics that can help you make informed decisions and not decisions the way people looking for water in California used to do it 100 years ago with sticks and magicians, or just your instinct about what kind of tour might work in the future or not. So, Chris, I do want to finish by returning to the customer, because again, this is all about making sure that they find it really easy and, dare I say, pleasurable to book a tour with you. What experience have you had with taking these widgets, taking these code snippets and putting them onto operator websites? What have you seen when you inherit an operator? What have you seen them do wrong on their websites with their Restech?
Yeah, quite a few things, but some of the main ones that I have seen is, one's a simple one, having a book button, which you think is fine on a page, on a tour page, for example, but I prefer to see a calendar actually on the page. So just clicking that book button is just an extra click. If you can actually have the calendar on there directly on the page, select the date in the calendar and start going through the process. That's just one click less the customer has to do. So something like that is very, very simple to do. Some of the other things I see happening as well, again, if someone lands on a tour page, a product page, experience page, and the customer wants to buy that experience, they click on that book button, then all of a sudden that whole operator's itinerary just loads up within a widget or that pops up on the screen of every single product that they have. That has, I've seen, sort of cause confusion with consumers, just looking at thinking, okay, I was going to book this whitewater rafting tour, but now I've got whitewater rafting tours mixed in with 4x4 Jeep tours and whatever else they've got on there as well. So try to funnel your customers down to the specific product. Don't show them all your products, especially on a product page. And one of the other things is actually, it's a debate that comes up quite often, is about having a book button in your main navigation, as well as other places on the site. Again, not for everyone, it's something to test and to see if this happens for you. But if you're again on a product page and someone's scrolling through either on a phone or a desktop, going through your page, and you think, again, this is a product I want to book. Sometimes I have seen people get confused with clicking the book button on the page as well as a book button in the top menu. So if they're both doing what they should be doing, the one on the page will open up just for that product, but the one in the menu at the top tends to open up everything. And I've seen that confuse some people, thinking that they're trying to book that tour, but actually they book the one in the top menu. And I tend to not usually have a button up there because in my experience, it's been bad UX, to be honest, and bad for the consumer. So little things like that, just being able to offer things that stop less clicks and just make it so easy for the consumer and not to confuse them is the sort of three main points that I would probably raise. I usually see quite often, to be honest.
And I think it boils down to this: test, test, test. Run A/B tests. Use software like Hotjar to actually understand where your customer's clicking, where you're losing them, where they're attracted to on your website. Because for some companies, a book now button in the corner might be right and might be fantastic. For others, your product journey, your customer journey might actually not suit that because of the nature of what you're selling. For example, you might sell private tours, but your main business might be corporate tours, right? If your main business is corporate tours, then Book Now is generally not the call to action that a corporate customer is going to look for. They're first going to want to see a fantastic landing page that speaks directly to them. So it's right depending on who your customer is. But even when you do know your customer, test and use that data to understand what's right. My pet peeve is when I don't see a calendar functionality, because if we have all of this data coming, especially from the OTAs, that last minute bookings are on the rise. Well, a last minute booker needs to come to your website and immediately know what's available. If they have to click through 15 different products to learn that that's only on Tuesdays, that's only on Thursdays, that's only on Fridays, you've lost them. And I know this because I've lost even major tour operators on some of my holidays when I'm booking last minute. Second of all, as Chris said, when you've got that product page up, that booking calendar there in the corner better be directly linked to your actual product that they're looking at. If they've got to go back and start another click fest to get back to that same product when they're on that page, it just doesn't make sense. So we call that low-hanging fruit. Chris, you've done hundreds now of customer journey analyses for Tourpreneur Plus members, and that a lot of those little points can make a big difference. Peter, I'm going to just end with you and Chris on this question of automating your business. How can you take a look at what this software is and think about globally what you're doing as a business and make connections between those different parts?
Yeah, when you're automating, and there's a big push to automate everything, and it's correct, because the more efficient you are, normally the better business you are. However, be careful about efficiency versus effectiveness, right? So in the last week, when I've been doing one-to-one calls, I've seen operators' websites that only have a Book Now button and no other communication with the customer. And then when I ask them what the dropout rate from that Book Now button is, they don't know, because the Restech will not give them the data. So I know they're missing thousands of bookings. Right? So ultimate efficiency is not always ultimate effectiveness. So you have to design your processes knowing who your customer is, and then work back for your customer, designing your processes in your business to be exactly for that customer model. And if you have multiple customer groups, that's where it gets a bit more complex, because if you're doing 2 people for $50 tours and they're booking all over the place, yes, you certainly want to Book Now button everywhere, and you don't want the calls, and you don't want the WhatsApp messages and the emails and phone calls. But if the people are spending $5,000 or $6,000 with you, you do, because they're not pressing that Book Now button until they've had a decent conversation with you. So effectiveness versus efficiency.
I like that. I like that. And the answer in some ways is both. You absolutely want a very efficient process for when it's right for that customer, but you want to also capture earlier moments on that customer discovery journey and make sure you're interacting with them in the right way. The right way for your company might be actual personal email or Zoom call, and the call to action is scheduling a Zoom call using Calendly before they get into the actual booking journey. And that's because you're selling them a $15,000 tour. Now, if you're selling them just a vast amount of day tours, then you probably want to think about SMS, chatbots, all the types of ways in which your booking journey can be as easy and as clear and as automated as possible to avoid manual labor that might hamper you scaling your business. Chris, final thoughts on automation or on Restech in general?
Yeah, I think Pete got it spot on. It's just making sure that you're automating the right aspects, but you're not losing touch of the customer and having those conversations with them. No, again, one of the sort of pain points I've seen happening before is websites that have no email, no contact phone number, no nothing. They just want those online bookings. But even still, you still want to have those conversations with the consumers because they will have questions. And if there's any way that you can answer those questions through an online chat or anything like that, that is going to give you a more high probability chance of getting that booking than not. So automate as much as you possible, your emails, your bookings, and all these things that go out from that. From once you've made the booking, when someone's made a booking, it's all automated. But you still want to make sure, as Pete says, that you're still maybe touching base with the consumer at certain points, just to make sure that everything's running smoothly.
Peter, I'm about to bring up our 3 panelists for our keynote panel. But before I do that, I'm going to give you the last word about how operators should think about what we're doing today and what to look forward to.
Oh, you're on mute.
So this is for operators to have a wider look at the technology that's there. That's why we've purposely brought in some old favorite technologies that have been around for a while, purposely brought on some new guys because there's new technology coming on all the time. So this is an opportunity that will hopefully run each winter. When people are a bit quieter, they get really deep into the technology, find out what's going to really work for the business, then speak to the technology companies and get the best solution for you that is going to make you more profitable. And I do worry sometimes when I see operators churning Restech. I'm on my 4th or 5th Restech. If you're on your 4th or 5th Restech, the issue isn't the Restech.
I like that. I like that. This event that we've created, again, over 2 days. Today, 8-minute quick pitches. Thursday, more in-depth demos where you can walk around a virtual floor and connect with these companies that you see today. This was created by Peter and I having probably a few too many sangrias in Seville at the Tourism Innovation Summit conference. And it's just an attempt at bringing together the great companies in our industry, the great operators in our industry. As always, we're open to your feedback on how we can always make what we're doing and what we're offering the community that much more meaningful for both the companies we work with and you operators. So with that, I am with delight kicking Chris off and Peter off. Goodbye, Scotland, and hello, a fantastic series of Restech companies. We have an excellent lineup of 3 companies. I want to also take a moment and say these events are not cheap to put on, and it's just with gratitude that I thank these 3 operators for being sponsors of today's event and seeing the value in just getting this information out there to operators as much as possible. So welcome to the 3 of you. Who are you? What's your company? Where are you? I'm curious. I know companies are in all sorts of time zones. Everybody looks very perky, and so nobody must be in Australia. That's my big question. Why don't we start with Susan up there in the corner? Hi, welcome, Susan.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all virtually. So I am Susan DeBatis, and I am Resde's Chief Growth Officer. I am actually based in Washington, D.C. We have offices in Australia, but fortunately, I am on a favorable time zone for today.
Fantastic. And John T,
Hi.
why don't you go first?
Yeah, I was going to say, clarify. So I'm, my name's John Tedham, of course, as you can see on my title and my fancy background. I work with Checkfront. I've been with the company for 5 years in February this next year. And we're based in Victoria, British Columbia. So it's a little early for me, but I've already had a cup of coffee, hence why I look perky enough. I've got my virtual background on because my office is also where I store my bikes. And so I figured this would be a little bit better than looking at a wall full of bikes.
Hey, I would have liked your bikes to go well with my books. And then finally, John McGuire from TripAdmit. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Hello, everybody. I'm John McGuire. I am the CEO of TripAdmit. So you can maybe tell from the accent that I'm based in Dublin, Ireland. So not too far away from Scotland. And yes, it's cold here too. But it's with regard to TripAdmit, we've been, I suppose, around now for 4 years at this stage. We founded just before the pandemic, so great timing on that one, but it's like we came through it, and yeah, it's now we're powering hundreds of clients, around the globe. So that's us.
Fantastic. Well, three great companies, three very different companies. And I wanted to start with this question because it's the question of the day. It comes up almost every single day in our group. What booking software should I use? So, Susan, I'm going to start with you and ask everybody, from your perspective, why is this question constantly being asked? Is it why?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that in the earlier session with Peter and Chris, that, I think there was a lot of interesting points that were raised that I think demonstrate why this question comes up so frequently. I think it's really the amount of technology that is available to tour operators today is overwhelming. Peter mentioned there's over 200 different solutions. And then you also have online e-commerce capabilities that don't represent a full booking software solution for the experiences industry, but do at least give an operator the ability to take online bookings. And so it's just a very, very overwhelming landscape. And it's hard to know when, a lot of the information out there all makes reservation systems sound very, very similar.
John Tedham, do you have a take?
Yeah, I mean, it's an overwhelming space. I think I can only mirror what Susan's already mentioned. There's a ton of different companies offering a ton of different solutions, and two different companies will call the same solution by the same name, but they might function in different ways within the system. So I understand it's super overwhelming for clients, and the process of going through and evaluating multiple systems can be overwhelming as well. And unfortunately, nobody knows our software better than the individual reps, and each individual rep can't speak to any other software as well as those other reps can. I've always tried to let the software speak for itself, just try to demo it honestly and provide a clear understanding of where the limitations are. And I think that's all that we can do. Unfortunately, there is no shortcut for doing the evaluation properly. But I don't envy the consumers right now. I wish there was maybe a smaller grouping. Right now, there is just no replacement for that proper evaluation.
Irish, John, anything to add?
Yeah, it is hard to add to that one. To be fair, I would agree with the two previous speakers, and the fact that it's almost death by choice, basically, because there is so much on offer out there, and so many companies offering solutions, and there's the core functionality that's offered across pretty much all the Restechs, and then every Restech will have their own specialities as well. And I suppose in my own background, I worked for an activity provider for many years, and it was a case of I was that sales and marketing person sitting there looking at a piece of technology and trying to figure out which one is the best. And it's really, really tough, because ultimately you don't know until you actually try it, and that's part of it. But I think Peter surmised this quite good earlier on, and it's about your requirements, as in you will not get 100% of what you're looking for, and narrow it down to the top 10, and then say, which of these will change my business, will improve my business, and most importantly, will make operating my business easier. And that's it. It's like, because every Restech can sell. It's so part of the differentiator, in my opinion, is which ones can make it easier to run my business.
So we often talk about tour operators' biggest competition is not other tour companies. It's nothing. It's people showing up in a destination and not taking a tour at all. In a similar way, your biggest competition is nothing. It's Stripe, or it's a WordPress plugin. Susan, why, as an operator, am I not going to buy that one-off plugin or just use Stripe and it's 2.9%? Why am I going to go out of my way to pay monthly fees and extra percentages on booking transactions for something that feels to me kind of similar?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think that, John just concluded that really nicely. Is what you get with a reservation system that specializes in the experiences industry is a full end-to-end solution. So it's not only going to help you take an online booking and accept payments, but it's really going to help you manage your business. So manage your resources, manage your inventory, be able to connect to a variety of different channels to allow you to extend beyond your website. And so it does so much more than just take that online booking. Additionally, and I can speak for Resdy, but I believe that others would share the same sentiment, is when you purchase a reservation system, regardless of who it is, there is a team of people that is behind you to support you. We have seen challenges that many operators have faced, and know that you're not alone. And so are really able to help guide you in the process, whether it's how to use the technology better, whether it's how to grow your bookings online, whether it's how to connect to distribution channels. There's just really a lot of expertise and interest in supporting operators navigate the space.
John Tedham, your thoughts on why I'm paying you?
Yeah, it's a good question. Long gone are the days where our systems are just simple calendars for customers to make bookings. We provide complex reporting and the ability to manage your bookings easily. A lot of tasks that when you add them all up and you compare that to the labor costs associated with hiring people to do these processes manually, it's a no-brainer from my perspective. It's a cost benefit. You get to a place where certain industries, the technology is irreplaceable, and I believe that tourism activities have gotten to that point. Sorry, it's evident by the sheer quantity of activity tech based software solutions that we've already been talking about. And so when I'm talking to customers, not only is this going to handle a lot of this in an automated way, but it'll make it more accurate. There's a less likely chance that you're going to find those double bookings and those errors in your calendar, and it's because our system can do it, and it can do it better than it would be done manually.
That's great. John McGuire, I want to shift things a little bit, and I want to ask you, since you're newer, you're 4 years old, 2 of those years didn't count, although they do, because it may not have been about bookings. It was about an industry that was rapidly accelerating and changing, especially in this space. I think about 140 of those 200 companies were given birth to by people sitting at home with not a lot to do. But let me ask you this. This is a strange world we're living in right now in terms of marketing and sales, because every day everybody's talking about vertical video. Everybody is talking about the customer journey changing. There's the rise of influencers and the creator economy and these types of new relationships that are actually sales relationships. And so I'm wondering what changes you're seeing in the industry and how you as a reservation product are adapting to those changes.
It's a good question. It is a case of that the industry itself, especially I suppose there's a number of different factors that are happening. There's generational change, shall we say, and how the different generations will interact with the various technologies, and whether that's social technologies or video technologies or actual websites themselves. And a couple of years ago, we were all, well, more than a couple of years ago, we were all talking about, mobile is very important, but the mobile is king now. And for us, and I suppose what we're looking at is we're looking at the social aspect and also the video aspect of it. We're actually working on a product at the moment. It's early stages for it, but where we're looking to build our own video platform to embed TripAdmit within it. So essentially, that it's as video. Video itself it's been important for a number of years. But like you've got the likes of Shopify, Magento, and that already embedded into video. I'm not aware of a booking software company embedded into video. And for us, it's especially as Generation Z and above start moving out of their traditional territories, shall we say, and start getting nearer to my age group, shall we say, not giving it away, but it's video will come with them. But also you've got the late adopters in Generation X and that are now also finding that video is key. So for us, it's a case of we're placing quite a bit of importance into live commerce and shoppable video, especially for the booking space. It's already prolific, in with regard to, clothes and makeup and handbags and you name it. But in travel, not so much yet. So that could be an important one in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. You've got Shopify, you've got Gumroad, you've got these things that are essentially social first and mobile first. John, what's your take on where we're going and how Checkfront is meeting that challenge?
Yeah, you ask 1,000 different Restech solutions, they'd all give you 1,000 different answers based on probably what they're working on. So where does Checkfront think that like the future is? We're increasing in complexity based on the feedback that we're getting from our operators. So what does that mean? Well, we've recently released a version of resource management, like true resource management, that allows you to sell the same asset or resource between public and private offerings in a truly complex way. Moving forward from that, it would be allowing the operator to actually select the asset or the resource as they go through the booking process. So that means that your customers, if you ran like a rental business, would be able to select the type of bike, the color of bike, and the system would be smart enough to draw from the inventory that it has on file. Beyond that, moving towards staff management. So your tour guides will be able to be scheduled, assigned to specific tours, and this is of course the future, not necessarily what we have on hand right now, but being able to assign those guides to their specific tours, or even the guides being able to input their own availability and to have the availability of the products contingent on the availability of those staff. So what we're trying to do is build into the complexity of features that we already have, things that are going to directly assist the operators in their ability to automate more of their manual processes, and to do so in an intuitive way. I think we just need to listen to our customers and to continue to increase complexity based on that feedback. There's more than enough areas for us to add complexity to this software. It's almost overwhelming. And so, that's kind of the direction that Checkfront thinks it needs to go.
Susan?
Yeah, I would just add to John's point. It's great. I can just say John and address both of you. I think what's interesting in the position that a reservation system has is, we have an opportunity to see the complex needs of a variety of different types of businesses. And so you understand that every business needs something a little bit different, which can make it a bit unwieldy to try to support so many different types of businesses with a solution that is really, really easy to use. And so I agree with what John from Checkfront was saying, is just, we continue to develop our solution to be able to accommodate the complexities that just naturally live within tour operator businesses. Also, at the same time, trying to make the technology easier and easier to use so that you don't need a heavy manual. You don't need to spend hours of time on the phone trying to figure out how to use your solution. You're able to do it really easily and really simply.
I have a follow-up question to that point, because I pay probably tens of thousands of dollars in software solutions every year, and I can probably count on one hand, maybe two fingers, the times I've had a phone call or a even chat with these providers. I'm wondering why in sort of the tour operator culture, there is this endless, and I see it every day, people saying, I love talk. I mean, they're like invited to their weddings. They're like family members, the customer support reps of your organizations. John Tedham, what's behind the obsession with knowing and talking to your support rep?
Yeah,
in other words, shouldn't it just work? Shouldn't you just have the software? It's easy to use. Never have to talk to another John again in my life.
Yeah, listen, I mean, on one level, that might make me a little obsolete for my job, but on the other side, I completely understand. Like, genuinely, it's our goal to make this software easier to use. And but even, I've had conversations internally about this, disagreements where one person saying, well, they should be able to get set up, use the software, figure it out on their own without ever talking to a person. I'm like, I think they'll still want to talk to somebody. I think it really comes back to the human connection, and that, because my background's in psychology, that's what I studied in school. And it's like, I don't think that a really great and intuitive user interface will ever completely replace the social connection and the trust developed between a rep or between rather like a company and its clients. It's one of those things that people want to know the people that are working on the software solutions. They want to hear, they want to be validated that the things that they're asking for are being heard, that we are looking to build those things, that we do understand that these things are a need. Because without that, what you end up getting, and I've experienced this professionally in the past, which is, when you don't have an opportunity to raise concerns or to express frustrations, and at least not having those validated, you start to wonder if anybody's listening at all. And I think that's really what it comes down to.
John McGuire, your experience?
Yeah, I agree with what John said. It is a case of we ultimately it's our clients, customers that are it's all about the experience, and it's as much of maybe it's a factor of the industry itself as well. There is a lot of personal contact between our clients and their customers, and as much as our clients and us. And for us, it's a case of that, as John said, it is about ensuring that we have you learn more by talking to your clients than going out and brainstorming in a meeting room and trying to figure out what do our clients want. Your clients tell you every day what they want, and what better way to improve your product than to have open dialogue and open communications with your clients. And it's like we welcome us with open arms. And it is a case of that, not every day you can deliver for the clients from the point of view that with regard to a piece of functionality and that, but it does go onto the roadmap. And it is a case of that, it's from our perspective, our clients are one of the most valuable sources of feedback that defines what we're going to do next.
Susan, do you have anything to add to this big question?
Yeah, I totally agree. And, I would just add to, the idea of having someone to talk to. It's not just about asking questions around how to use the technology, right? It's actually about advice around any business questions that you have. I would say a lot of those that work in reservation technology for the experiences industry actually come from other parts of travel. I personally come from the hospitality industry. My whole background has been in hotels. And ultimately, the hindsight that I am able to share as it relates to technology and digital and distribution strategies with operators, I think is invaluable, because the technology has existed in other parts of travel for many, many years. So we're able to take hindsight and learnings across a lot of different operators and be able to help support in that really consultative way.
It's a really interesting point. To my eyes, I'm almost seeing 3 different buckets of relationships with the support rep. One is the sales pitch relationship. I'm terrified that John has a PhD in psychological manipulation. I feel like I'm going to end this roundtable signed up for Checkfront. No, but there's a sales element to it. Second of all, there's a tech support element to it. And it's probably fair to say that if you're having a tech problem every 4 days, then something's wrong somewhere. Or if you think you're having a tech problem, something's wrong in the equation. But that third one is actually really intriguing, because it's actually about the sense in which this is not like a website host, or this is not like email marketing automation. This is actually very industry niche specific software, which means actually the more customers you all have, the more you have a sort of crowdsourced intuition about what's working, about types of upsells that might be great. And it's almost a therapy or coaching or advice of a different sort. Any agreements or disagreements on that assessment?
If you don't mind, I'd jump in. I think, in addition to what Susan said, it really comes down to consultation on not just what's available within the software, because the complexity is only going to increase, and it's going to take people time to kind of discover the features that are going to work best for their customers or for their business. But it's also providing industry knowledge. I mean, like passively over the past 5 years, I've been talking to tourism activities and small accommodation businesses of every kind. I can't tell you how many times in the middle of a demo customers have said, "Well, what do you think the best way to price this is?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not here to tell you how to run your business, but I've seen, like, the customers that I've seen be the most successful, that have been growing the fastest, have used strategies like these." And it's one of those things that, like, when you get to talk to a human person, you get the benefit of their experience, not just with the software itself, but the benefit of their experience working with other tour operators.
I'd
So,
agree with the pricing question as well. That is certainly a question that we get asked a lot as well.
so I want to ask this about those questions that customers are asking. Susan, what are the pain points that you're hearing from the operators that all of your support reps are discussing with? What are some of the common themes?
Yeah. They're I would say largely as it relates to growing your business. I think there's less questions around the operational aspects and, how to automate parts, because the technology can really walk you through that. It's about that extra level of consultation around the things that operators can do to grow their bookings and grow their profitability. So whether it's things like consulting on, marketing from an SEO perspective, or how do you get visibility in Google from a Google things to do perspective, or just natural search, to how do you actually connect with a distribution channel? How literally does your information get from your reservation system to a distribution channel? These are the types of questions that we get from operators, just that represent that the amount of change that's happened over the last few years. There hasn't been this easy roadmap to follow, right? There hasn't been this guidebook that is the go-to source for any operator to know really how do they now take advantage of the way that an offline industry has rapidly digitized through their websites and through distribution channels.
I think I want to end with, well, a couple of questions, but one is this common frame of distribution channels, of connectivity. One of the reasons why we grow is in order to service more people in more ways, and Restech does give us that opportunity. But before I ask that, I am going to go to the other Johns, and remember that I need to hear your pain points as well. John Tedham, tell me the pain points that you've heard from your customers. Sorry.
I can say really quickly that the only thing that's common is the variety of different requests that we get. Genuinely, it's really like tourism activities and accommodation. The breadth of that is just incredible, and I think the pain points that I hear differ from day to day. Ultimately, it comes back to some of the things I said that Checkfront was working on. I mean, obviously, we're working on those things because those are the things that we're hearing from our customers are of the biggest need for them, that increased level of complexity and automation. What they want is they need to reduce operating costs, and the more that they can do that, especially in today's economy, the easier it is to run their business day to day, and to have that automated and have the peace of mind that it's being done properly. That's what we hear the most from our customers, is like, this isn't working, or there seems to be a bug here, or this feature was built with the right idea, but it was ill-conceived in its direction. Like, can you? And they explain why. So I think that would be my answer.
John McGuire.
For me, it comes down to, I suppose there's two main areas. One is on the marketing side. We do get a lot of questions on marketing and how do I get more visitors to my website, because you have an industry that has digitized rapidly, as Susan said, and it's a case of we have there are a lot of clients that are experts in selling in the offline world, and they're quickly adapting to the selling in the online world. So that would be one. And then I suppose on the other side, there is the resource management side of it. You have companies that scale down during the pandemic, and now they're scaling back up again, and now they're looking at how do we manage the amount of guides, and going from having 10 guides back up to 100, and it's like we've now got more buses or canoes or and it's about how they see it as an opportunity to optimize their business. And so it is a case of how can I use the technology to help me do this, and that's it.
Fantastic. We're going to leave it on that note, because we are now going to say, just for a quick moment, goodbye to Susan and to John McGuire. And we're going to start pitch day, which is going to start with the three of you. And I'm really looking forward to now this next part of the day. For the next couple of hours, we're going to hear from almost 20 companies. But first of all, Susan, John, and other John, a huge thank you to sharing your insights. I think this was really, really helpful to our community. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you so much.
You bet. All right. So Susan is going away, John McGuire is going away, and John Tatum. So just for everybody that's going to be presenting coming up, because we already have a bunch backstage, getting ready, getting excited. What's going to happen now is for 8 minutes, you're going to hear from a company, and they're just going to share with you what they're passionate about in terms of the feature set, the vision, the company culture that makes their company tick. And the idea is to inspire you to attend then their demonstration on Thursday, to be able to ask more questions and to connect with them better. And we'll be sharing that information with anybody that RSVP'd on the Tourpreneur website to join the demo day on Thursday in our virtual networking lounge. But right now, I'm going to pass it over to John and take it away. Thank you. Oh, and for everybody, there's going to be a little banner that appears at the bottom. That is your 1 minute warning, at which point we will officially force you off the stage. All right, take it away, John. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, we'll see if I even get to the full 8 minutes. I have a quick presentation ready for everybody today, just to go over some of the basics, and hopefully that it stimulates a further interest in Checkfront that then I can properly share with you on Thursday. So I'm just going to share my screen here. We can kind of go through a presentation that I've created. Perfect. All right, so Checkfront Experience Experts. As you can see, I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. I think I've already done a good job of introducing myself. I've been with the company for 5 years as of February 2023. And in that time, I started as just a single SDR, and I've moved my way all the way up to our senior sales representative, and kind of leading a team of newer, less experienced representatives. So Checkfront, it has been around for 12 years, and in that time, it has maintained a 99.98% uptime. So what is the 0.02%, 0.03%? It's really when we were switching server providers. They were usually planned outages, which is part of the reason why I can't boast 100%, but it's still extremely impressive. We're a Canadian-based business based in Victoria, British Columbia, and we have over 5,000 customers worldwide, and 750 of those businesses are in the UK. We have both SMB, so small business, and enterprise solutions available. And who do we service? We service tours, activities, and small accommodation. So what does that mean? So tours being anything from daily, like time slot based activities. So we're talking like if somebody wanted to go on a walking tour, biking tour, we can handle those. Tours could include wine tours, bus tours as well. Distillery tours included in that. Also activities, think like axe throwing, escape rooms, and then honestly, even further than that, blanking a little bit. Small accommodation, we like to think of it as like smaller rustic accommodation. Think up to about 20, 25 units roughly is kind of how we define that, but there's a little bit of leeway there. We do, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we have the ability to sell or allocate inventory based on a nightly basis as well. I did include a couple of our big brands that currently work with us. Jaguar and Land Rover trust Checkfront for managing their driver experiences currently. switch that. So what can Checkfront do at a kind of a high level? Well, we can sell products by day, by night, by time slot, hour, 30-minute, 20-minute, 15-minute, and 10-minute increments. So you can already start to imagine the wide variety of businesses that we currently provide a solution to. We have a fully integrated booking widget. It directly integrates with any website, which means that your customers don't have to go to a different URL to complete their booking. We know that switching URLs leads to that customer attrition, and we want to make that as seamless as possible and reduce those lost bookings. Booking management and staff side booking. So what does this mean? Once the bookings have been made, your staff members have the ability to go in, manage the bookings from the back end. They can take staff side bookings over the phone, or they can make in-person bookings as well. This also includes a ton of different reporting integrations, which obviously I don't have enough time to go into too much detail, but you'll see that demo on Thursday. Notifications, email, and SMS solutions. So stay in contact with your customers, sending them scheduled notifications one right after they book, including just the details of their purchase, and then any reminders that you need to send them leading up to that. That might include a reminder to fill out their waiver, maybe a reminder for them to bring certain articles of clothing, like if your tour requires closed-toed shoes or any other equipment. That's something that you can actually schedule to get sent out, and then you can schedule those notifications to get sent out afterwards, asking those customers for a review of your experience. We know how important that customer feedback is. Checkfront payments. So this is kind of a brand new thing. It's powered by Stripe. It is essentially Stripe with a Checkfront logo over top of it. It means you get all the benefits and the features of Stripe, but we provide we've negotiated a discounted rate for our customers. It's not the only payment gateway though available with Checkfront. We also offer integrations with Square Agent, Braintree, Direct, WinCave, just to name a few of them, but there are a few more as well. And those are just the ones available in the UK, so I highlighted those. Products can share assets. So I was talking a little bit about this. We recently created and came out with true resource management. So being able to have two products share an individual resource, or more products at that. So if you had some selling that inventory based on the capacity of the inventory, and some selling that same inventory based on the quantity. So think of a bus, you have one bus, but you have 10 seats. If a public experience books 2 of the 10 seats, and then the remaining seats are automatically assigned and allocated to that first product that was booked. If the private one is booked, then the public one is no longer available at that same time slot. So it takes a little bit of that manual labor and manual work out of your hands. And then, of course, several really big integrations. So we talked about the OTAs a little bit in our panel. Get Your Guide, Expedia, Viator, TripAdvisor. My allocator is specific to working with accommodation businesses. So those accommodation businesses, if you want to connect with Airbnb, VRBO, and all of the different accommodation-based OTAs, my allocator is going to be your essentially your funnel for those. Google Analytics, MailChimp, QuickBooks Online, and more. So MailChimp being obviously being able to stay in contact with your customers for the purpose of a newsletter. And QuickBooks Online is specifically for the purpose of integrating with accounting software, just to make that side of your business a little easier and automated. So what does our pricing look like? So on the small business side, it is simple subscription pricing with no hidden fees. So Soho, Pro, and Plus, you're seeing it here based in UK prices. These are the monthly prices, but we do also offer 15% for paying annually. So in order to, you're committing to us for a year, we're going to give you an extra 15% off the total 12-month cost of this. It is based on booking volume, number of staff accounts required, and there are specific integrations gated at certain plan levels, so gift certificates and waivers. If you have additional questions about this, we're happy to discuss it with you, but I'll just leave that in there. And then we, of course, have an enterprise solution. So custom pricing based on per seat allocation and location. So providing unlimited bookings, unlimited partner accounts. Partner accounts are those accounts that you might give to a concierge at a hotel to resell your inventory at agreed upon commission. and unlimited integrations, API access, a one-time professional service setup. So if you need help getting your account set up, this is included in Checkfront Enterprise pricing. A dedicated customer success managers, a single point of contact, somebody to manage and kind of keep track of what your requests are, and when we release those features, making sure that you're aware of that and know how to implement that in your system. Premium support, so you still get access to the technical support team on the enterprise level. Of course, we wouldn't rob you of that. And then configuration support. I think that's kind of part of what I already mentioned with the professional services setup. And then, of course, an MSA, SLA, so a guaranteed service agreement. So what's included in professional services? So it leverages an exceptional implementation specialist to build out a custom configuration based on your unique business needs. So what I mentioned part of the panel is that we do have professionals that have been with our company for a long time, many years. They've set up many different businesses, and so they know how to use our software and utilize the features in the way that it is best utilized. And then just wanted to put this up on screen. We are offering a promo. So if you email sales at sales@checkfront.com with the promo Stone of Destiny, then you will get 10% off SMB annual subscriptions, 20% off professional services, and 25% off your first year with an enterprise subscription. And of course, my email and contact information is up on the screen.
Hi, my name is John McGuire. I am the CEO of TripAdmit, and by way of introduction to TripAdmit, we are a booking software company with our headquarters based in Dublin, Ireland. We were founded in 2019, 11 months before the pandemic, which might not look like the best of timing. However, in hindsight, it provided us with the time and the space to build out our technology and to be able to compete with some of the biggest and the best in the market. TripAdmit was started by myself and my co-founder Andy with a mission to build a solution that was easy to use and with connectivity at its heart. Andy, on the technical side, came from the translation sector, while I came with 20 years experience working in the travel industry. I've worked in travel and ticketing from booking software space, working with ticketing systems such as Ticketmaster, to the airlines with Aer Lingus, to finding myself in the second half of my career in the amazing tours and activities and experiences sector with Smartbox and finally with City Wonders. So I know what it's like to be an activity provider and the work that goes into operating a tour business. But we're here today to talk about technology, and more specifically, booking software technology. I get that it's difficult to choose between one booking software solution and another, and what makes them different. Today, I'm just here to talk about TripAdmit and what makes us different. To start, we offer the ability to sell online through your own websites and connect to OTAs, like most of the other systems. Our pricing is also competitive with the other systems in the market. However, what we do have and what I believe are a number of areas that set us apart. We have our own exclusive airline partner distribution network. We currently partner with airlines flying 250 million tourists per annum to power their tour and activity offerings to their customers and their passengers. As we continue to add more airlines, we expect that figure to surpass 500 million tourists by summer of next year. We've built a fully connected end-to-end solution where our booking software clients can plug in to our airline distribution network, ensuring they get in front of potential customers at just the right time. Nobody comes near us in terms of our airline reach. On top of that, we are a young and nimble company built on the latest technology. We built a reservation system that can bend and cope with all the variations that the tours and activity sector requires. While always remembering our activity provider backgrounds, we know that selling online is only half the battle. it is the operation side of the business that can really add to the workload, which is why we focus as much attention on the operation solutions as we do on the connectivity and the online sales side. So much so, we have a dedicated team that focuses on building the technology to make the everyday operations that bit easier to manage. Without getting into the demo today, that's what Thursday is for. I'd like to give you a quick idea of what we offer. So on the sales side, as mentioned, we offer the ability to sell online via your own website. We offer channel management to be able to connect to multiple OTAs, which, as most of you are aware at this stage, a live connection is now a key ingredient to having a chance of being successful in the OTA channel. There is, of course, the airline distribution network that I've already mentioned. And we also have the ability to take offline bookings via TripAdmit front desk with some key features such as the ability to override the pricing or availability and a host of other features to cater for more bespoke bookings. As I mentioned, we have a team working on the operation solution side of the business, where the key focus at present is on resource management, whether that's from allocating guides or equipment to ensuring that you can optimize sales based on the resources available, while also ensuring that in areas where resources are scarce or shared across different activities, the system knows where these limits are and does not allow you to oversell. Lastly, we're a hands-on company, ensuring that you get to talk to real people, whether that is the operations team or whether it is the onboarding team during the onboarding process, or the customer success team when you're up and running. In feedback from our clients, this is one particular area where we score highest. As I said earlier, in comparison with some of our peers, we are a relatively young company at 4 years of age. This does, however, work in our favor, as we have the ability to quickly adapt and adjust to changing market requirements. It also means that our technology can flex to add new functionality quite quickly. So I'll start wrapping it up here. I do hope that you will join us for our demo on Thursday. We have our head of customer success will be presenting. And we have a great team in place that has joined us from across the industry. And they'll always put you and your needs first. And we know that the decision it can be a difficult one to make. And we just like to try and make that decision a little bit easier for you. So we're offering a 2-month free trial to Tourpreneur members. And if you're not happy at the end, you can just walk away, no questions asked, but we would hope that you are happy and stick with us. Just log on to tripadmit.com/Tourpreneur to sign up or request a demo or reach out for a chat. So I'd like to say thank you very much for your time, and we would look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for attending Resdy's pitch today as part of Tourpreneur Demo Days. My name is Susan DeBattis, and I am Resdy's Chief Growth Officer. And for those of you that may not be familiar with Resdy, Resdy is a leading online global booking software and distribution platform specifically for the experiences industry. We have offices in Australia and in the US, and we support operators in over 130 countries. I am personally really excited to be part of the demo days today. I have spent my entire career in travel and specifically hospitality and the experiences industry. And knowing the hardships that have faced operators over the last several years with the pandemic and the challenging environment that it is today to be able to hire fast enough and really to be able to find ways to run cost-efficient businesses, I couldn't be happier to be able to represent a technology company that can really help operators grow their business and save really valuable time in light of such a challenging environment. So it's really personally very gratifying for me to be here today. So as we know, and why we're all here today, the experiences industry is moving online. And there is so much information that is available out there as it relates to the technology to leverage in the industry. It makes it really hard to navigate, really overwhelming, really confusing. What we know is that consumers expect to be able to book online, particularly now post-pandemic. It's happening more and more. The experiences industry is really the last major part of travel to truly digitize. We know that technology can now support a multitude of repetitive operational tasks, which is really critically important, particularly in this challenging hiring environment where you need to save all of the time you can get with the resources that you have. We also know that there are hundreds of technology solutions that are available to experience providers, and they all sound the same, but actually they're not. So on Thursday, we'll have a chance to hear from, I think, around 20 different booking software solutions. And at that time, you'll get a chance to really dive into Restech's specific capabilities. You've already heard about a few of these capabilities today through some of the other pitches in this morning. But ultimately, of course, we give you the ability to take online bookings through your website. We give you the ability to automate a lot of your back of house capabilities and those repetitive tasks. We give you the ability to connect to distribution channels, to digitize your bookings through offline channels, bringing them online, to accept payments, to run reports, to instrument analytics on your website. All of those you'll hear about more on Thursday. But what I wanted to do today was really just highlight a few things that set Restech apart that you might not hear or see in a demo, or you might not be able to read on a website. The first one just to highlight is that Restech was actually created by operators. We were founded in 2011 by a dive tour operator who had a lot of challenges trying to run the day-to-day of his business and also be able to take online sales and make bookings. And so it was created by operators for operators. And we're now trusted by thousands of operators all across the globe, as I mentioned, in over 130 countries. With the fact that we were founded in 2011, what that means is that we have 10 years of operator feedback that has allowed us to continually evolve our technology to be able to meet the needs of a large amount of diverse categories. So whether you're a walking tour or a food tour or a rental or adventure, water sports activities, a museum, a winery, a helicopter tour, we have the ability and sophisticated solution to really be able to support you based on all the feedback that we've received and continue to receive from our operators over the last 11 years. We're really highly rated. So from a customer support perspective, we get really high scores. And also if you spend any time on online review sites like Capterra, we have really great ratings from our customers. And we're also available to support our customers 24/7. So you can contact us via phone, via email, via live chat, or our account management team that's really able to support you, not only with any questions that you might have just around how do you use the technology, if there's something that you're struggling with, but also just as a consultative approach. So if you're looking for ideas around how to grow your online bookings or how to connect with different distribution channels, how to do something more efficiently, we have years and years of experience and a lot of visibility into how other operators are able to manage things today in similar ways that can help you run your business. We're also able to help you digitize your local network. So we know that oftentimes operators are working offline today with local resellers like hotel concierges or like local visitor bureaus or even local kiosks in destination. Typically, these partnerships have been offline. They might call you to make a booking, and you'll have to manually reconcile payments to all of these different distributors after the fact. We give you the ability to actually digitize all of those relationships, and so that you can actually be able to not worry about that manual reconciliation and just manage all of your rates and availability centrally and distribute out through your website and any of your distribution partners, whether they're local or global or regional, in a seamless way that prevents you that manual reconciliation and overbookings. And what's so unique about the experiences industry is that we're oftentimes not competitive. So you actually are able to sell and be sold by other local businesses. So if you're running a bus tour, for example, and you really want to be able to promote that food walking tour, your friend down the street, you really have the ability to do that very efficiently through the platform and be able to find other local businesses as well to sell their products and to have them sell you. We have a very, very large team of experts that are really there to provide you with all of the things that you need to know about how to grow your business. We have partnerships with the largest network of distribution channels. And so if you want to connect with Google or you want to connect with Viator or Get Your Guide or Civitatis or Tickets, a number of the channels that you've probably heard of today, and then some, we have those integrations and allowing you to seamlessly connect through a network of channels. And last, but certainly not least, we have flexible and competitive pricing. So if you work with Resdi, we have a variety of different models ranging from a transaction-only model and also a hybrid model with transaction fees and subscription fees. It really depends on your business and what works well for you. We can adapt to serve the needs of your business. We also have the ability to pass on fees. So what you'll find if you start to do some research is that there's a variety of different models, and some reservation systems give you that ability to choose to have your guests absorb the cost of fees, or for you to take that on, or some blend of both. And so we give you that flexibility. We don't set it up for you in a way that is fixed. You have full flexibility in how you want to manage those fees. So I really hope that we will see everyone on Thursday for our demo, but you're more than welcome to book a one-on-one demo with anyone from Resdi also. We do have a free 21-day trial that you can sign up for at resdi.com. There's no credit card that's required, so you can sign up, you can cancel at any time, absolutely no commitment, just to test things out. I should also note that if you're not actually in the market for a booking software, but you want to be able to connect to distribution channels, we also have the ability to enable you to use your existing system, depending upon what it is. We can get into those details and to distribute to distribution channels without having to change your booking software. So happy to answer any questions about that. Feel free to reach out to grow@resdi.com. And hope to see all of you on Thursday. Brandon from our account management team based in Raleigh, who's been with Resdi for 5 years, will walk through our capabilities and really give you that additional intel on how the software works and what we can do for you. Thanks, everyone.
Hello and welcome to all the Tourpreneur members that have kindly jumped in today to take a look at how Boken can help support their business. We have titled our pitch, How to Generate More Bookings and Streamline Your Business, which we'll be going through in detail today. But first, a little bit about us. Some of you will be familiar with us less so. So we were founded in 2012 over in Reykjavik in Iceland. We really caught a big trend there as the travel industry really boomed there. We now sell in over 80 countries, and in 2018 we were acquired by TripAdvisor. So TripAdvisor also acquired Viator, and the three of us sit in a group together. Naturally, this does present some benefits that we offer on an exclusive basis. For example, if you're a Viator user, there is a quality product check fee. Every time you add a product, we do waive up to 4 of those a month. We offer a seamless integration between Viator and Boken, so you can just import your product straight into Boken and you'll be ready to go. There is a direct line of communication between Viator and Boken. And of course, both of us, Viator and Boken, are backed by TripAdvisor, which is a global company running for 20 years. So there's a lot of experience there in the travel industry and a big reputation behind us. So whilst we are part of the TripAdvisor group, we still do operate as an independent business within that greater group. We still have our original office over in Reykjavik. You can see in the top right. Our top left is most of us based in our Oxford office. That is at a nearby pub. That isn't our office, just to confirm. And we do get about to a lot of events where we meet some of you guys. For example, this is us in WTM a couple of weeks ago. And bottom right, this is us in Arrival Berlin this year. We'll be attending next year as well. So I hope to see some of you guys there. So how can we actually help your business? Well, first, it's probably worth looking through some of our customers and partners. Just want to reiterate that we do work with all of Viator's main competitors as well, like Get Your Guide, like Expedia, like Google Things to Do. So most of the OTAs you could probably name, we connect in with either directly or through our marketplace feature. And we've listed some of our bigger customers there, which some of you will be familiar with. So on a more kind of tangible level, how do we actually get you more bookings? Well, through 3 main areas, really. Our most popular feature is our bookable widgets and our website generator. So if you have a website, but it isn't currently bookable, let's say you've just got a phone number or perhaps a contact us form, our bookable widgets, you can literally copy and paste from Boken into your website, and suddenly you have a bookable website that's there for you 24/7. And we have seen, and we will share a testimonial on Thursday, significant increases in customers' business just from making their website bookable. If you don't have a website, with one click, you can create a branded bookable website using a platform that's integrated directly with Boken, and that automatically pulls all your products onto it and updates the availability. So the option is there for you. We also have a big agent areas and the allowance to add offline bookings, and one of probably my favorite features, our marketplace, where we have thousands of resellers. That includes global and regional OTAs, car rental companies, and a lot of other tour providers that are geared up and looking to resell tours. And we are based in a huge amount of countries on that, so definitely worth taking a look at that. So that's generating more bookings. And what about actually streamlining operations? So that's this kind of right-hand side of this quadrant here. So Boken sits in the middle of all this. So the main feature on how we help with that is through our availability and our booking engine. So you can say goodbye to double bookings, and you can sell up to the last minute with your tours by integrating all your sales channels, all your OTAs, your marketplace, your direct online bookings, all with Boken in the middle. It's constantly scanning to check your availability to make sure you're not overbooking, and you can completely keep that up to date. We also have a huge amount of customer management tools. We have an app, for example, that drivers can check in the customers. We have pickup lists on it. We have a fully functioning CRM that allows bulk marketing emails to be sent out. We have automated emails as well. So an example popular automated email is sending an email one day after you've run your tour that promotes your TripAdvisor review listing. So you can then automatically pick up those reviews, which we all know really helps in the algorithms. And of course, we have completely customizable reports as well. Our reporting sits very much at the core of Boken, so you can easily identify which are your most popular products, how many places you have remaining per product, per experience, which are your most popular sales channel, so on and so forth. So What will we be showing of this in our Thursday demo? We will be covering how Dan from Wake Up Reykjavik increases bookings by over 400% using our bookable widgets, and we will show you exactly how you can set your own up in a live demo. We'll be going through that private marketplace we spoke about, showing you how you can find resellers today and start building relationships to get them to resell your tours. We'll be showing some of our automations, how to manage your customers before, during, and after tours. One of our recent features we're going to be showing live as well. I won't tell you the name, I'll leave that to Thursday, but this can literally boost your bookings overnight by 20%. So this is a great new feature to Boken. And finally, we do have a 2-week free trial that's available now. Again, no credit card required, but we have put together a unique offer for your Tourpreneur members and your other users to come and access. So do check us out for that. I hope to see as many of you there as possible. And that's it. So thank you very much.
Hello, Tourpreneurs. This is Carl from Ticketing Hub. We're simplified ticketing for tours and activity providers. Here's a little video of Ticketing Hub. So I'm Carl. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also a member of the Forbes Council. I've consulted for Barclays and the government in the UK with Britain's Personal Best. My previous startup is called Lost in London, and how I got to Ticketing Hub. Lost in London was the biggest reseller for tours and activities for language schools. We were selling between 15 and 25,000 tickets to language schools, and we were physically printing them and giving them to the schools. I went to a ticketing provider. They charged me a setup fee, which was around 15 to 20K, I don't remember, and none of my schools wanted to use it. So what did I do? I went to build my own software. I bought a company called Mini Cards, and I started selling not only in language schools, but also in hotels that were 1 to 3 stars. That worked great until students started photocopying the tickets, and I realized that there was a need for a ticketing hub, a central hub to basically sell your tickets online through distribution and partners. So Ticketing Hub helped tour operator increase their ROI by providing a frictionless ticket buying experience for their customers. As a tour operator, you would like to increase your ROI, increase revenue, and save time. Now you can with Ticketing Hub. So here are some of our results. We work with secret food tours that went from 1 to 67 cities around the world, sometimes having over in excess of 1,000% increase year on year. Recently, we've worked with City Tour Belfast, who's had a 400% increase in ticket sales by switching providers. And Boat Party Tickets have had 500% increase in ticket sales. Our platform is simple enough for any business owner to use, yet powerful enough to grow large companies' sales. The main test I do is the mom test. I get my mom to test the software, and if she can set up her own product, then I know we can release it and people can use it. So we offer a 360-degree solution. We have a little widget that embeds on your website that can have a custom CSS, so you can really have it to your own brand, custom color, etc. We have in-person sales with a chip and pin machine, which is an iOS-based point of sale that allows you to scan tickets and sell tickets. And finally, we connect to distribution channels like Viator, Get Your Guide, Expedia, etc. We're a data-driven company, and you can see here we have a 20.73% conversion on our widget for our customers because we make sure that we have the right CRO on our widget. And we want to make sure we can help you save time, increase your revenue, and become data-driven. So how do we make you save time? Email validation. We make sure that no email goes through the system if it's not actually validated and confirmed. So try making a booking on one of our clients with a fake email address, it'll not go. Magic Link enables your customers to manage their booking under your own terms. A week before the event, they can still change. After that, they can't. Automatic email and SMS. We enable you to send SMS reminders and SMS feedback that has a 90 to 98% open rate compared to emails that have a 10 to 30%. How do we help you increase revenue? Abandoned booking emails that are automatically sent to your customer. We can also do drip campaign. We have capacity-based pricing. We also have yield management that enables you to change the price on weekdays, and also on top of that, add the capacity-based pricing. We offer a reseller portal for your agents to log in, OTA connection, and upsell and cross-sell. And these are only a few of the features that Ticketing Hub has to offer. So how can we help you become data-driven? So Ticketing Hub integrates with Google Analytics, and we have every single event tracked on Google Analytics. That means when they click, when your customer clicks, we know and we let you know, and you can actually base all of your results on what they've done. We redirect customers to a landing page. This was one of the Tourpreneur challenges, and we're the first ones to have actually done this. So you can put your Facebook pixel and track your customer. We have a supplier API that enables you to connect any data from Ticketing Hub into any system you want using our API. We support webhooks that can connect into other systems like Zapier. So here are some of the other features that we can go over depending on the features you want to use and depending on the industry. But we offer guide management, asset, resources, packages, monetary vouchers, waiting lists, deposits, pickups, and booking funnels. We don't take any payments on your behalf, so we integrate with 120 payment gateways and allow you to choose your payment gateway of choice. We just charge you 3% of credit card bookings. That's our only fee. There's no setup fee. There's no OTA fee. There's no POS fee. And there's no long-term contract. If you don't want to be it with us, then you shouldn't be. Some of our clients, Sanderman Europe Tours use our point of sale, Sipsmith Distillery Tours, Taste of Toulouse that recommended us today. So thank you very much for that. Pub Crawls, Easy Group, Petty Bus, Jersey Bus Tours. We work with Household Cavalry Museum, Wild Discovery, Jungle Cat World, Hop On Hop Off. We do City Sightseeing Budapest and many others. In the activity taste, we do electric bikes, boat parties, balloon rides, cooking schools, Santa's Grotto, coaches like Go Ahead and Fishing London. One of our biggest customer now is Electric Gamebox, the biggest VR company, but we've also worked with Time Out and Thames River Cruise. So that's it for Ticketing Hub. Thank you very much for listening. And if you come to the demo day, we will have a very, very special offer for you. And we will offer you a big discount that you can redeem if you've attended our demo. Thank you very much, everyone.
Hi there. My name is Matt from Restech Limited. I just want to get the slides up for you, if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay, so before we begin, effectively, I just want to mention, effectively, we are a startup. We started during the pandemic. We came out of a company called Mr. Zen, and Mr. Zen have got lots of experience in the UK tour operator market for about 20 years. We're sort of spending this time listening to as many people in the industry as possible, enjoying talking to you all and hearing all of your thoughts. So our background, we've implemented and created online booking systems, very custom online booking systems for UK tour operators for over a decade. Our online booking solutions have provided by reservation systems tend to be very rigid and closed to external development. And that's prevented companies like us from being able to develop reservation systems that match a tour operator's way of working. And we believe there's a different way of doing things, and we believe the future lies in a kind of interconnected, extensible SaaS-based reservation system. And so that's why we're trying to build the sort of world's best reservation system. It's not a CRM, it's not a CMS, it's not an email system or a document management tool, but it's it's focused very much on the travel booking system, and then integrates with other systems to provide those functions. So we've created ResKit. It's an extensible system, as I said, for managing any online booking, whether that's online, offline, or through agency sales. ResKit controls the customer's booking and the user experience. It provides tools for extending the system and connects with other systems for those common functions. We're also working currently with a number of UK and international tour operators to develop a specific product system for group tour operators. We're planning then to develop in-house product solutions for other travel products and existing third-party providers like Viator, Amadeus, etc., so that you can combine your products with other products like flights, insurance, and that sort of thing. So ResKit is SaaS-based, software as a service. It's extensible and it focuses specifically on travel. ResKit as a system sits in the center of all of this. And ResKit is effectively an admin interface for dealing with walk-ins, telephone sales, looking at bookings, managing the bookings and the transactions themselves. And then it has integrations with WordPress and Joomla and many other CMSs for creating very custom websites. We've created white label online booking forms and white label manage my booking systems, which are forkable and open source, which enable companies like Mr. Zen to adapt and change the functionality while still remaining integrated with ResKit. We're building a tour product system, but after that there will be other systems for managing other types of products. And the fundamental key thing is that if you have a product system yourselves, then that should be easy to integrate with your booking platform. And then in the future also, we're looking to create direct integrations with things like Viator, Booking.com, etc. So other integrations that are coming in out the box, we integrate with Metabase for reporting, Shuttle Global, which is a payment gateway provider, that provides integrations with numerous different payment gateways. I think there are up to about 20 at the moment, including Stripe and WorldPay and all the main ones. Xero for accounting, and then obviously, like most systems nowadays, via Zapier, you can access thousands of other applications and to sort of run your business with. So what's our roadmap? So currently we've created the in-house admin, we've created the API and the open source code libraries. That's for the online booking and the customer account areas. We've created the core integrations with Xero, with Shuttle, with Metabase. We've developed the agent booking functionality. And now we're just in the process of creating a multi-day tour product system which will feed product into ResKit, and then doing the flights integration. In 2023, by the end of 2023, we're looking to build an application marketplace with we're looking to develop the self-onboarding capabilities, so it's easy for companies to onboard themselves, and then other product providers like property rentals and that sort of thing. So what are we looking for at the minute? We've got a number of operators that we're working with at the minute as we develop the system, but we are looking for customers. We're looking for pioneer top tour operator partners that we can work with to help develop the system in the direction that the customers want it to go. We're looking for investors at the moment, and we're also looking for travel industry technology partners and integrations, specifically with product providers and also other bolt-on service providers. I've created a little form that you can fill in to keep in touch with us. You can put any questions on there as well. So if you want to snap that QR code and fill that in a bit later, that's fine. We'll be presenting on Thursday, so I look forward to showing you what we've done already and the main interfaces, which are the administration interfaces for managing your bookings, and obviously the customer interfaces for taking bookings online and integrations with the websites. Currently, I know I've got a couple of minutes left. I think our main clients at the moment are international outbound small group tour operators, but the system is basically designed to cope with any kind of travel booking. So I think that's everything from me at the minute. If anyone has any more questions, then obviously put them on the comments there, or snap the QR code, fill in the form, stay in touch with us, and see how we're getting on.
Hello and welcome to Easy Booker presentation. My name is Tony Niric. I'm the owner of the Easy Booker, our central reservation system. We are the system situated in Croatia that has as a target audience the tour providers that are willing to connect this interconnectivity octopus that we are aiming to connect. We are a system that we see ourselves as a vertical to being able to connect the hotel industry with the advanced segments of the tour sales. As you can see by our system, we are pretty much making sure that everything after the reservation is connected to all the processes, as long as all of the data is being triggered and synchronized with every other distribution channel. In terms of the special things that we have with our system, we are always aiming to be advanced when it comes to the technology, but also that all of our components that are being built are the components that are built by tourpreneurs. Having that in mind, we are always communicating on a quarterly basis with our clients to see what are the things that they need to have built for the next season, for the next portion of their business adventure. And this is something that we are aiming to learn from them. a team of the specialists that have been working in the industry, in the hotel industry for more than 10 years, building these kind of systems, being in collaboration with Booking.com, Expedia, all of these giants in order to produce one platform that is going to be a specified platform for larger scale tour operators. Some of the things that are common are the channel manager and all of these connectivity distribution channels that we have, but there are some things that we are paying a close attention to, and this is your revenue from the official website. Even though we are connected to the channel managers, all of the connections that have pricing synchronization, our base system is on the rate plans. What do we mean by that? We are one of the few systems that is available to offer you that you can push specific inventory, specific availability towards each individual OTA. So even though we have an opportunity to enable you that you have a single image inventory that is going to have your data being synchronized, for those of you that would like to know more, have more, we have a possibility to set specific availability for a certain OTA to have your website jump out and have something that is going to be better than just your basic offer that is available to be offered on the OTAs. With the mobile booking, that is enabling you to just in the palm of your hand stop the sales on the OTA to have your inventory being updated, to see the reservations. We are enabling you to have everything at the palm of your hand. We have been developing our system for several years now, and it is a software as a solution, making us special in a case that if you need the connectivity for some specific segment, we are the system to connect you to any external or third-party service. With the B2B market segment, we are able to offer you that all of your tours are able to be given to any hotel, any provider, and with just the username and password, they are able to get your availability and to have everything being present in EasyBooker as your central reservation system. We even went to that extent that for the hotels that would like to excel in their revenue management, we were able to offer dynamic rate plans based on the results, but also we are providing an ability so that when a reservation from the official website, from the OTA, from the online bookers, from the mobile booking comes in your system, that you're able to push it to your hotel information system to be charged on room, so that you are being able to not only connect the segment of tourpreneurship and segment of the tours, but also if you are connected in any way possible with the components that are being as hotel information systems, marketing softwares, or anything of sort, we are able to connect those because our system is our own proprietary software that has been built from the scratch. And with this, we are able to offer specific integrations per client, which is what we are exactly doing. What we are most proud of course, technology is one thing, but people are the other thing. We are most proud of our support team, in which we have 24/7 support of our live account managers with every client. It doesn't matter whether you decide to choose EasyBooker Lite, EasyBooker Standard, or EasyBooker Enterprise. We are always giving you all in our knowledge, and we would like to have you to see our support team as online consultancy team rather than somebody to tell you how and where to press something. This is something that we have been using to help our clients develop. We are learning from them, but we are also sharing the knowledge that we have been gathering for 10 to 15 years, trying to merge everything from hotelier industry and the level of technology that is being provided there to actually get there in the tour industry. So with the technologies that we are providing, we are always doing this quarterly analysis with each individual client. It doesn't matter if you have 2 tours or if you're an enormous agency, to see what could have been better in comparison to the last quarter. What can we do for you, and building this for free. What we are currently offering is 3 versions of our system, which is EasyBooker Lite, Standard, Enterprise, which you can definitely make sure you choose the proper one depending on your needs. But what we can for sure say that we are one of the rarest systems that doesn't have any booking fees. So what we are aiming to do is to give you the technology that is going to automatize everything in terms of your business, give you an ability to create and say, hey, Tony, hey, EasyBooker team, you know what, we figured out this season we would need these kind of updates. this is something that is going to help us excel in the next year. How about doing this? We're going to talk over it. You can come to this beautiful town of Dubrovnik, our Game of Thrones capital, or anywhere where our offices are on Balkan, and you are going to be able to share your vision of what is going to be the next EasyBookers update. Considering that we have been working for years with some of the largest distributions, with the Booking.com, with Google, I was personally connecting Google. Our knowledge is going current technology-wise so far beyond what we need, and this is something that is going to drive us together to build a system. For our area, we have invoicing being connected directly to the IRS, and this is something that we are enabling for each one of the individual clients to be able to connect. And actually, the only system that is going to allow you to ask us, hey, we would like to have this in the next quarter, and you're for sure going to have it. We are aiming to have a system that is going to be able to help you progress. We are aiming to have clients that are going to tell us what you need and that you're satisfied that you get it. And this is what we have shown with our clients that have been growing up to 140% per year from their official webpage. With this being said, I know it's a little bit much. We are connected to anything that we can possibly be, but more about it we're going to see on our travel technology demo days, which I'm encouraging you all to come to listen to all Restech, not only EasyBooker Enterprise. Choose the system that you need, and if you choose our presentation, we are going to show you why we are so special. Thank you for listening, and looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.
I think I'm live now. Hopefully I am. Good afternoon, good evening. Oh, Mitch says I'm on. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever in the world you're joining us from. My name is Holt. So I head up the sales team here at Ventrata. I've been thrown at very short notice, but I've been given the dubious honor of talking about Ventrata. So I don't know how many of you have heard of us, so I'll happily give a quick intro. So Ventrata, brief history first. Let me switch to the next slide. So 4 points to cover today. Brief history of Ventrata. We were founded in 2016 by our still CEO and chief architect, Oliver Morgan. Some of you may have seen him speaking on arrival. In fact, he's even been featured on Tourpreneur as well. We're a UK company, although we're primarily remote first. We have teams in the UK, US, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Czech Republic, and even Nigeria. So very much all over the world. We're currently around 43 people now. Whilst we're 6 years old, we started life in hop on, hop off. In our first kind of 1.5 years, we were mainly driven by hop on, hop off and then the day tours and vehicular market. These days, we offer functionality for all tours, activities, and attraction providers. Just to give you an idea of some of our clients, they include Big Bus Tours globally. So We power all sales for 23 different cities around the world. Also Historic Tours of America, which is Old Town Trolleys. And we power 10 different locations, which is tours and attractions as well across the US. So on to what differentiates us. So by the way, apologies for the very basic slides. I was told to keep it simple and no more than 2 slides. I thought I'd keep it very simple. So what differentiates Ventrata? I'll pick out a couple of specific features to talk about on number 3. But I think where we really stand out is our features and functionality and the depth to which we can go. So it sounds boastful. It's not meant that way. I hope this is taken in the way it's I kind of say, but based on the conversations I've had, certainly, I'm of the belief we offer one of the most feature-rich, comprehensive, best-in-class platforms in this space, and that's something, again, absolutely happy to be challenged on. We do kind of enjoy solving some of those very difficult to solve business and operational challenges. Second thing that differentiates us, we have a fully integrated multi-channel offering. So Ventrata provides a fully comprehensive solution covering every sales channel, whether that's direct online, OTA sales and channel management, desktop and mobile point of sale, and self-service kiosks as well as and concierges and the agent reseller portal. So that's point 2. The third thing that differentiates us is we offer I think we've touched upon this before above, but a fully integrated hardware solution covering the aforementioned point of sale, self-service kiosks. We also offer increasingly now access control, turnstile and barrier solutions, whether that's new barriers or retrofitting onto existing turnstiles and barriers, and there's also standalone scanners, validators. And then I think the fourth thing that differentiates us is we offer a really highly engaged, knowledgeable delivery and customer service team, and they are working with you 24/7, 365. So what I mean by that is we've got a support team of, I think, about 7 or 8 guys. They are always on. So anytime you have any kind of issue, whether that's troubleshooting, bug fixing, help, support, training, whatever issue you always have access to a live person at Ventrata to help you with that. So that's something we offer as well. So that's what differentiates Ventrata. I'm going to now focus on a few noteworthy features. Again, I've seen these go on for these demos and kind of talks go on for 4.5 hours. So I'm not going to, I'm aware I've only got 8 minutes. I'm not going to focus on every little aspect. I'll pick out a few specific ones. First one is reporting. So it's a huge feature. I genuinely believe we have the most powerful reporting module in this space. Ventrata is a very data-hungry system. We can report on virtually every aspect of the platform. So we take data from any part. So whether that's bookings, shifts, products, the website itself, resellers, manifest, all of those areas can be reported upon. So to give you an example, our bookings table alone, we take over 200 different data fields, and all of these can be selected, filtered, automatically reported upon. They can be downloaded, CSVs, Excels, SQLs. As an example, so the bookings table, people often use them for weekly sales reports, performance reports for management teams, daily bookings reports for operations teams, revenue reports for finance. It's an incredibly powerful tool, and to the point where I think a lot of our clients essentially have that feeding directly into their accounting systems. So that's the first one. Second noteworthy feature is dynamic pricing or yield management, as some of you know. This is a huge hot topic. I know it's been discussed to death across places like Tourpreneur and Arrival and all the other forums and industry spaces, but it's a huge feature. So we obviously already offer variable pricing, which allows pricing to be set on a number of criteria such as seasons, channels, day of the week, time of day, currency. You can even change pricing based on specific resellers. So that's variable pricing. In addition, that then works in conjunction with our fully dynamic pricing module, which allows for pricing to automatically change without any intervention from yourself based on set criteria. So typically that's things like time remaining. So whether that's days out, weeks out, months out, hours out. And then also things like capacity remaining, time of day, number of bookings, size of bookings. All of these kind of rules can be put in to basically vary the price accordingly, depending on how your operation works. It's been enormously successful. One of our largest clients, I mentioned earlier, Historic Tours of America, they've actually now switched every one of their products over to dynamic pricing. Certainly, it's a bit of a big boast, but certainly in amongst our clients, we're seeing revenue uplifts of between 7 to 11%, which is obviously quite significant. And with Historic Tours, again, I'm not able to speak specifically for their numbers, but certainly, as I said, all their products are now dynamically priced, and they've gone so far as to hire revenue management staff to further optimize this. Third noteworthy feature I'll focus on is resource management. It's an incredibly complex module, allowing for the suppliers and operators to manage all aspects of kind of product, staff, and resources. So conceptually, I probably should have had a slide for this now. Conceptually, if you think about Ventrata, you've got the kind of product, you've then got the staff members, so that's a seller, a guide, a driver, whatever that might be. And then a resource could be something like a room, a vehicle, just some kind of finite resource. Now, the module allows you to essentially mix and match, so you can have your customers on one product, sharing resources, sharing guides, sharing staff, and these can all be mixed and matched. It's an incredibly powerful module, and I think it's, again, that harks back from our day tours and vehicular background, but it now has been used by virtually all of our clients. So again, love to show you more, just conscious of time. I'm just checking my time, and I don't need to show that. Okay, so and I noticed there's a few comments saying that people are out of intro, so I'm going to try and speed up a little bit. So last one is built-in channel manager. So we offer a built-in channel manager that basically offers you all connectivity to a number of OTAs, resellers, so all the big ones, standard ones, Get Your Guide, Varsor, etc., all included. We also utilize the Octo specification, which again has been discussed at length both with Arrival and Tourpreneur as well. So it's the API standard that many booking platforms and suppliers have agreed to work together on. Essentially, I think that what that's going to bring is easier connectivity in future for everyone involved. Okay, so on to my final slide then. Who might we typically work with? We work with all tours, attractions, and activity operators. I think our focus is on solving difficult business and operational challenges. That's what we're about. So for instance, our clients have often experienced challenges such as lots of overlapping tech. They need to consolidate, lots of manual overheads, processes, outdated processes. So that's where we come in to deliver greater efficiencies, optimizations, streamline some of those systems, and really drive incremental revenue growth. That's one thing. I guess also where an operator or supplier has worked with other booking platforms that have been unable to deliver that bit of enhanced functionality or solve that particular issue, I say come challenge us. That's, again, all I can say is come check out what we do, challenge us and see if we can fix it for you. And so as a result of what we do, and kind of depth of functionality, we very commonly work with operators that are a larger single location or potentially multiple business units, countries, currencies, and Big Bus Tours, again, being the obvious example I mentioned earlier. So again, I keep skipping slides by accident, apologies. So just that's Ventrata in a nutshell. I hope I've given you a good idea of what we're about. If you've worked within a platform, feel like there's something missing, then watch our Tourpreneur demo later this week, or feel free to get in touch with me directly. My email is on the slide. It's holt@ventrata.com, HOLT@ventrata.com. I'd love to hear from you, and that's me. Thank you very much. Mitch.
Hey everybody, great to be here. My name is Jake Schoenholtz. I'm a sales engineer here at Peak. Let me just get the slides up here. Mitch, are slides pulling? All right, thank you very much. Really excited to be the one actually presenting to you guys today. For those of you that I don't know, So I'm actually a former tour operator myself. I ran about a 60 location tour business here in the US. All of those franchise locations actually were using Peak since about 2018. So I've used the platform in and out for a number of years now. So we're going to dive right in. So for those of you who don't know Peak, and this is kind of your first introduction, thought it was appropriate to start with our mission and vision. So we are connecting the world through experiences. We are life changers and business builders. We're the software of choice for the experience industry. Merchants grow their business because of us. So to give you kind of a general overview of everything we do, because we're tight on time here today, just wanted to bring in this slide and show you a few of the kind of key features that not only separate Peak, but really help our operators on a daily basis. So things like having point of sale directly in the system, having things like dynamic pricing and texting and waivers included. All a lot of tools that we could spend a lot more time actually diving into that make our partners' lives better every single day. So my team had some fun with this one because of the kind of tight time window here today. My goal is to show you some of the really exciting new and kind of innovative things that have come out of Peak in the last year, and hopefully leave you guys wanting more. So we're going to start with the basics. So I'm going to walk you guys through kind of our front end widget flow. So we have a really simple 3-step process for customers to actually complete their booking. And this in turn is a reason why we drive so many conversions. The other thing that I want to point out on this screen is we do have very robust dynamic pricing. We not only have a number of rules that help our operators actually drive revenue on a daily basis, but I think almost more importantly, we actually give customers a very clear visualization of what the pricing actually is, so that they don't have to get all the way to the checkout screen to see what they're actually purchasing. Moving on to step 2, you guys will notice here that we are selecting tickets, we're collecting customer information, and we're asking whatever questions that you guys need answered from your customer base to make sure that the tour goes smoothly. One of the things to point out here is we do actually gather contact information very, very early in the booking flow. And the reason being is whether or not the dog's barking, kids are screaming, whatever the reason is, we do have a very, very powerful abandoned shopping cart feature that is also included in Peak. The next page I'm walking you guys through now is what we call our bundles and add-ons page. So we have 2 very different things that we can do here. We can actually allow your guests to book multiple tours. I've seen this be really, really effective in markets where people might be traveling in for an entire weekend, and they might do something Friday night, and they also may need something to do Saturday during the day. So they can actually book multiple tours just in one checkout. The other thing that's obviously super important is for you guys to drive merchandise sales and add-ons with things like lunch and snacks, and give your customers a very clear visualization to make sure that they are actually adding these into their cart and bringing up that average ticket price for you guys. And last but not least, our checkout screen. The thing that I want to point out on the screen, you guys might have seen on the very first picture of our booking flow, is we do allow members to very, very easily check out going through the process and redeem their benefits. So in the last year, we've actually rolled out complete membership functionality. So getting away from configuring promo codes in crazy ways, we actually have it built directly into Peak today. So the next thing I want to walk you guys through is one of the most innovative things that I've personally seen in the industry in a really long time, and this is our customer portal. Now, the reason why this is so important, and I know you guys can relate to this, is nothing can derail a full day of tours more than your customers either not being prepared, they didn't bring the right shoes, they didn't show up at the right location, they didn't sign waivers ahead of time. So this customer portal is completely configurable to your guys' needs. They have their ticket right in the portal, and all of their key information, along with a couple quick action buttons to actually reschedule tours on their own, and most importantly, sign waivers. So that brings us to the brand new and shiny Peak waivers. So you guys will see here, this is very consistent UI directly from the customer portal. We have very, very user-friendly selections, which is, please tell us who you are. Are you Jake? Are you friends of Jake? We give people the ability after waiver completion to actually copy the link directly to their clipboard. And how we're seeing customers actually use this today is they're completing a waiver. Whoever's the most responsible in the group, they are copying it and actually putting it directly into a group chat. And this improvement in functionality has actually increased about 50% of waivers being signed ahead of tour time. So it's making a big impact on all your customers actually being prepared. And then almost most importantly, it gives you guys the ability to eliminate costs from other third-party waiver systems that can really stack up year over year. We also have new and improved manifests and customer journey statuses. So again, you guys will see a refresh in UI. We have some improved kind of quick action buttons to make sure that you guys are really, really efficient operationally. And we also introduced new customer journey statuses. Now, I'm sort of in love with this feature because you guys all have different operational lingo. What makes sense to your team? You guys have different checkpoints. And what we wanted to do here at Peak is make sure that all those different checkpoints, you could actually have those directly in Peak and make sure that the verbiage that your team uses every single day can be reflected directly in the system. So I know we breezed through a lot there, but like I said at the beginning, my goal is to leave you guys wanting more. Everything that you guys actually saw, in our slides is stuff that Peak has come out with in the last year. So we have a lot of really, really exciting things going on over here. I would love to hear from each and every one of you and tell you everything you guys need to know about Peak. So thank you.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're checking in from. My name is John Vosi, and I'm with Zowie Software. I want to walk you through some of the basic functionality of Zowie. Introduce yourself to our platform. We have been around for a number of years, and I was actually a Zowie customer for many, many years before working here. I've been in the tourism industry about 15 years, usually as a tour operator, 14 years as a tour operator here, where I'm located in Washington, D.C., and later on down in Texas as well, representing a global brand with operations across Europe and the United States. And the last 8 years, I was a Zowie Power user as a customer. And so I had experience using our software that now I'm telling you guys about today, both for operations that are much smaller, a few $100,000 a year maybe in revenue, to much, much larger and multiple millions of dollars in revenue. So it's a very scalable software, which I've had experience using, again, as an operator from a tour guide level to an operations manager to a product manager and a director of operations. Just to give you a little bit of background on Zowie, we may not be the biggest player and the biggest brand name out there, but we have been around for over 20 years now. So we have a lot of experience in the industry, starting as a simple ski shuttle transportation business, but that has morphed into tours, activities, transportation, multi-day activities, accommodations, and destination management software. So we operate globally in 110 different countries, most of which are in the Americas, but all, of course, spread out throughout the world. People use this for our software for, like I said, tours and activities. So if you run a sightseeing tour, like I did bicycle tours and walking tours and food tours, things like that. But we also offer multi-day packages and being able to package all your activities and products together, hop on, hop off experiences, even transportation. So if you have a ground transportation, maybe just an airport shuttle side of your business, we can help with that. And then we also have museums and lookouts, attractions and festivals that use the same ticketing software to sell online directly to consumers, to distribute their products globally across the digital marketplace, and to manage their bookings in a back office environment. When we do talk about our Zowie system, we have many aspects to it. Kind of the heartbeat is the Zowie core. That's where you're setting up your pricing, your activities, your promos, your guest communications, any integrations that you're considering. You kind of manage it all right from the Zowie core, and that allows you to create multiple online booking engines, a variety of different environments. For example, for concierge network in your town, maybe you need to create a special booking interface just for them. You can manage all that through the Zowie core. We have our mobile point of sale apps as well, both for iOS and Android, for phone and for tablet. Allows you to take your Zowie system and your bookings on the go. You can check in guests. You can get waiver links on the go. You could upsell to your guests on the ground, provide direct communication, digitized communication to your guests as well. And you can include, hardware peripheries to that. So if you need a credit card reader, credit card scanner, printer, cash drawer, all that stuff can be attached to iOS and Android devices. We have an app marketplace that includes over 175 integrations and counting. So everything from digital marketing, like a Google Tag Manager, as well as webhooks and automations like through Zapier, waivers through Werewolf or Smart Waiver, other marketing or online review management solutions such as through Bazaar Voice, Yonder HQ, among many, many others. Chances are we have an app or an integration that will help solve a different part of your business's issues. We also have our built-in channel manager. So that allows you to connect to the various online travel agencies that are so important to our industry today. So that channel manager is directly built into our Zowie system, allowing you to connect to TripAdvisor, Viator, Expedia, et cetera. The list goes on and on. Of course, we have the Google Things to Do integration as well. We recently added location tagging, which will help optimize how your listing in your tour or activity is shown on the Google Things to Do module online. So that'll help increase visibility for tour operators offering tours of specific landmarks and places of interest. We have built-in payment systems, a variety of them. Our preferred one is Stripe, like many others out there. But we do have some flexibility for a variety of different payment gateway solutions here. And all of our solutions allows you to be the merchant of record, which allows you to receive payments quicker and have greater control over your transactions. So, if you have a chargeback situation, you don't have to go through a third party to work through the chargeback request. You can handle that directly and provide the direct evidence you need to either fight it or comply with it there. When it comes to pricing, we offer various flexible pricing models. So unlike some other systems out there, we don't operate on just a booking fee model, nor do we operate on a flat rate or even just percentage rate models. We try to find a custom solution just for you. So we do have a free model, which is free for you as a client company to use, but the end consumer, the traveler, will pay a 6% booking fee at the time of sale. There are some limitations to that system, like you do have to sign up with Stripe as the payment gateway, and the payment fee, or the booking fee rather, is fixed at that 6%. If you want some more flexibility, though, we have this enterprise model. The enterprise model is priced off of all traveled revenue. So it's usually a percentage of sales between 1 and 2.5%. But it gives you a little more flexibility around the payment gateway that you're using. You get a custom report builder with it, Zowie API access, which allows you to create maybe some custom integrations, as well as an optional B2C booking fee. So if you do want to offset maybe credit card costs or costs of your Zowie system, you have the ability to install your own booking fee, which we're finding out a lot of companies are doing with great success to this day. So that is the high level of Zowie software. As a former customer, I can tell you that it works extremely well in terms of customizing it to what you're doing and filtering out any unneeded functionality there. You, of course, have great permissions over your employees to make sure that they have access to precisely what you want them to have access to, while also being able to scale the management of your bookings across all your digital distribution networks. I think that's pretty much all I have for now. I tend to struggle with brevity at times there, so hopefully I fit it within the 8 minutes allotted. But if there are any questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach me at john@zowie.com. Very simple one, just like that. And if you do have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you either here or in any of the Tourpreneur chat forums as well. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Small company here. I'm Jerome, CEO and co-founder of CaptainBook.io, live from Greece. I'm going to tell you from where I come instead of showing you all the functionalities that we have, and then I'll go deeper into the system. So I started my journey in the sailings to the market in 2012, and I bought a sailing boat to do tour around the island where I live. I was generating good money with an older boat than everybody else. And during that time, I had to write my special own booking engine. Helped me a lot to sell my tours and on my own website while leveraging the power of my local partners network. I sold my sailing to business a little over a year ago and decided to rewrite the software to make it available to every tour business who was willing to try new ideas. We're now a team of 7 people, and we just raised a nice funding round to grow the company. I'm telling you this because it's important to me that you understand that we're about people. That's why you'll find our direct phone numbers on the website if you need support, but please mind the time zone though. And we're also super responsive by email and chat. On another point I want you to remember is that we're a booking engine with all the features you need to thrive, but we're also a marketplace enabling hotels, Airbnb hosts, and travel agencies to sell your products. Everything is handled online, from the commission negotiation process to the invoicing. You can even chat directly with the resellers from the platform. And through this, we're working on great partnerships. We're working right now with Le Petit Futé, which is the first French travel portal. They issue guides like the Lonely Planet, pretty much. And we're in talks with the leading Greek airlines as well to upsell the customers with travel experiences. We offer a widget that works with any type of website to accept bookings and online payments. And if you don't have a website, we will release our free website builder before the end of the month. Google Analytics 4 can be integrated to our widget, meaning that you can remarket to your tours to visitors who dropped before checkout to maximize your conversion. We also handle printable liability waivers, enhanced with all the data available on the platform, like your customers' detail, your experience details, and everything. And we will release online signatures early next month. For January as well, we're working on a mobile app for iOS and Android, phones and tablets alike, helping you to manage your booking on the go and facilitate the check-in process. I'll cover connectivity with OTAs in demo days in 2 days, hopefully, but we're connected with Get Your Guide, Viator, Project Expedition, and Civitatis. I won't go into details about the basic functionalities like tier pricing, discounts, and gift cards, etc., because I want you to finish this with a couple of functionalities that you will not find anywhere else. Let's talk about resource management and the synchronization. You can synchronize your resources with the Google Calendar, and your tool will be available to bookings only if the system finds a resource available to run it. It means that if you work with external guides or captains, for example, you're sure that someone is available to run the tool, and because we will create the event in their calendar, you don't even need to call them anymore. Second, let's imagine you run a cheap safari tour and petrol is not included in the tour. You have extras that are not bookable by the customer, by your customers, and you can add this to the booking at the end of the tour, so the customer can pay directly online from their phone, and you can even ask for tips in the process. Money-wise, we don't have any monthly fee or anything like that. We just charge 4% on online bookings, meaning that you can still input your bookings manually for free on the platform and enjoy all these innovations. We use Stripe as a payment processor. You can connect your own account, meaning that if you're a big company and you have negotiated prices with them, you can keep it with using us. I have a lot of things to show you. Really look forward to see you all in 2 days. And don't forget, we're a startup. That means that we're happy to build things. If you have any special requests or anything, you can just drop me an email, jerome@captainbook.io. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Michael and I'm the founder of Junglebee. So just before I start my little pitch about the Junglebee, I just say a big thank you to the Tourpreneur team and the community. So Junglebee, what is it? So we're booking software for tours, and I want to give you guys a quick little story about how we started. So I grew up in the tour industry, and my family, they run a charter company in St. Martin. And so I pretty much grew up working with tour companies all my life. And back in 2017, we decided that with a whole bunch of tour companies that we wanted to create our own booking system. And the reason being, the goal was we wanted an affordable booking system where we could promote local tours with all the local concierge desks, hotels, and activity desks. So you can see me there on the bottom right there when I was a young man driving boats. And so what makes us so different? So there's a few things. One of those is we have a very low booking fee. The whole idea, working with so many companies and everyone's got a lot of high volume, is the booking fees sometimes eat a lot into profits. And we wanted a system where we could really make the booking fee low. And how did we achieve that? Well, it was by building a very, very simple booking system. Our user interface is very easy. Most of the tour companies that use Junglebee, they don't actually need to reach out to support often because they can find and do everything they want right there. And then finally, a big piece of what makes Junglebee so different is you can invite any local activity desk, hotel or agent in your area to see your tours. And what makes it nice about it is if other tour companies also join Junglebee in your local area, the agent, when they join through their booking interface, they can see all the tour companies and make a reservation really easy. With Junglebee, you can even split the commissions. You can have a different commission per tour and tour company. You can really build a specific product for very specific agents. You can even allow and hide certain agents from seeing your bookings and your tours locally. And so let's just talk about pricing. So as I mentioned before, our booking fee is only 2%. You can choose to have that booking fee included in the price. So if your tour was $100 and you had the 2% booking fee, the guest would not see it. But you can also choose as well to have it added on checkout, like some other booking systems do. And so there, the total price would be $102. With Junglebee, there is no monthly fee. We don't have any fixed long-term contracts. You can start and leave whenever you want. And the great thing about Junglebee as well is our booking fee, it only applies to the amount of funds that you're going to be charging during the transaction for your guests. So if your tour was, $100 and you only wanted a 20% deposit for your website, then you would only be charged a 2% booking fee on that 20% deposit. We also don't charge a fee for anything that you do with your own, point of sale device. If you take cash, if you just enter a booking into Junglebee, through the back end, and you're not actually processing any funds, then we're not going to charge you for that. And then here, I just want to give you guys a quick glimpse. So when I said, simple, I really meant it. This is our main dashboard that you'll see when you log in. We kept it very, very simple, very neat. You see the next 7 days. You can see each of your tours running on a per day basis. You can see them as they fill up and their availability. You do get like a sort of, warning of the color as it changes. And then right there from that interface, you can block any of those tours immediately. If you block it, it won't be bookable through OTAs anymore. Agents locally won't be able to book it. Even your team won't be able to make a booking if it's blocked. And then straight away from that interface, you can access the passenger list and even find, a customer or a booking in just a few clicks. So that's the interface there. And so with our booking system, we've got a lot of the usual features that you find, such as blocking dates, asking custom questions, setting cutoff times. But some really, really cool features that we have is our resource sharing. With our resource sharing, you can, on a tour, you can add a whole bunch, of guides or boats or vehicles, set them in any order that you want on a per day basis. So you could have a fixed schedule where every day or certain days of the week, it's always going to be the same. But at any time, you can go in there and you can change the order of the resources that you want, and you can share them between tours and also private trips. This is really nice for when you have guides or you have vehicles of different size, different capacity. The system will take that all into account. And then, so who can use Junglebee? So another thing that really sets us apart is if you're a tour company in the Caribbean or Costa Rica, those sort of countries aren't able to access Stripe or PayPal. And so we have our own in-house payment system, and we can pay out to local banks. And so for anybody else, so whether you're in the USA or Canada, Europe, or even Asia, it's one click. You can connect your Junglebee account to Stripe, and you can start using Junglebee. And so that is my pitch. Thank you very much for having me today. And I look forward to showing you more about Junglebee in the next video.
Well, hello there. Good evening from Berlin. Good afternoon to the fellow folks in the US and everybody else in Europe listening. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Yuri. I am part of the Booking Kit team, and I'm going to briefly run you through who Booking Kit is, what we do, and why you should consider your time worthwhile spent joining the demo on Thursday. So I'm fresh out of COVID. Excuse my voice, but I'm getting right into the presentation. So we are Booking Kit, Europe's leading booking solution, and have been around since 2014. We were founded in Berlin, which you can see here on the cover page, and by now have gained more than 8,000 users on the customer side, and one to be a team of over 85 employees at this point. So let me briefly introduce myself and what it is that I do at Booking Kit. So I'm part of the sales team. I'm on the senior sales manager stage within the team, and I've had a couple of stations in my life that put me into the position of really, really enjoying the conversations that I have on a daily basis with the tour operators, with the attractions, with the activity providers that I engage with on a daily basis. So it is not just the tool that makes the difference, but it is the people that talk with you through your project in order for you to understand what it is that you should be focusing on in the goal that you want to achieve. And surprise, it might often not be what you think it is, what you have in mind, but having someone to show you the other side of how you can enter that room very often can make things a lot more easy and smooth to achieve with totally different tools than you might not have thought of at the beginning. Our mission, and this is very clearly what we strive for within the next couple of years, is to be Europe's most integrated technology, booking technology for professional attraction providers, activities, and tour operators. Now, what exactly does that mean, and what does that buzzword integration mean? There has been a lot of talk happening around connectivity, about how complex this world is getting within that space, and I want to show you a bit of what exactly that means. What we try to do is we connect the online and the offline world in one single piece of software, being a booking kit. Now, whether you need to connect your booking system to a POS on site, whether you have turnstiles in order to have guests enter your premises, whether you receive usual bookings via phone or email, these should be able to be fed into the booking kit system, into the booking system, as well as any kind of booking that comes via the online channels, be it your website, be it any of the OTAs that we partner with, or the social media and Google space. In addition to that, the learning that we have made over the last few years was to say, we do not claim we do not claim to have the 150% precise solution for every single use case, which is why we established our App Store, which allows and will continue to grow, allow other software operators to dock on to the Booking Kit software and make sure that our vendors have the possibility to create their individual booking system according to the needs that they have. And as we all know, not every case is the same, so having a one-size-fits-all approach is not necessarily the way we are wanting to go moving forward. Here at the bottom, you can see the App Store connections that we have, which are at the moment HubSpot, SumUp, Zapier, Papershift being a staff planning tool, and there are many, many more to come. Now, a multitude of customers I mentioned at the beginning, 8,000 of them. Here's a couple of them to be for you to see who already works with us, whether that is BMW, the TV Tower in Stuttgart, the Zoo Wilhelma in Stuttgart. We also have in Rome the Basilica that uses our system. On the top left, if you have good eyes, you might be able to see the Weber Grill Academy. They operate with us even worldwide, so even beyond the European borders. However, Europe is definitely our core focus that we operate in. That is due to GDPR regulations. That is due to support and time zones, all of these things that we want to focus on the European continent. So 3 things that we do in order to deliver our product. So that is sell, management, and channel. Sell, management, and channels, channels being the channel management. Selling means on the first hand that you get a full-fledged online shop installed onto your own website within a matter of 2 minutes. Copy, paste, put the code of the widget onto your website, and it's done, and you have a fully bookable website. Second part is the management part. So being able to not have a completely fragmented set of instruments, but have it all in one single place. The next one is the channel manager, which is a function that we really proud ourselves on, also because external sources have given us that sign of approval. You will see who exactly that is. So from the easy website integration to the easy booking flow, converting people from lookers to bookers, running them through the process as smooth as possible, which is something you can take a look at yourself, for instance, with Swarovski, who is one of our customers in Austria. So check out this website, kristallwelten.swarovski.com. Go to the ticket shop and you can see for yourself how exactly the ticket shop actually looks like. Obviously, this needs to be able to happen on all kinds of devices, not only mobile first approach, obviously, but tablets and desktop PCs. Any kind of browser has to go and work on all the systems. And in multiple languages, because that often is the barrier to losing customers, because the language is not available. Being able to feed into that after sales process, so not just making able that the booking itself is done smooth and easy, but also to make sure that in the long run, after the customer has gone, the guest has come and visited you and has gone through that customer journey of experiencing it and being on site, to actually come to a point of leaving a positive review. And that's where the loop starts all over again. Your own design for vouchers obviously comes with it, as well as being able to have QR codes to be scanned on site, which again eases your entry management, or if you work with guides, eases your management of validating tickets. Whether you want to use the free Booking Kit app, both available on iPhone devices or on Android devices, or you have a more complex setup where you need to be able to connect to a turnstile, we can make both happen. The management solution that is on site within the tool obviously also contains features such as being able to have quick and easy cancellations, feeding directly the money back to where it came from, i.e. if a customer cancels within the cancellation period, to get their refund immediately without having to leave the tool, and also as an option be able to provide vouchers instead of a full refund. Availability management, capacity management, pricing management, as well as the accounting part in order to make that business process easier for your bookkeepers and tax advisors. Now, as for the channel manager, we work with a multitude of platforms out there, amongst them the larger ones, the global ones, the regional ones, the very small ones. And we synchronize availabilities, ticket codes, and prices and content description. Now, nice thing here is that for 2 years in a row, we have received premium partnership level by Get Your Guide, and we have the same status with Viata, which means that it's not just about connectivity as such, but it is also very much about the level of connectivity that you can achieve. So this is always something you should be looking at when you choose and opt for which booking software you want to go for. Pricing can be transparently seen on our website, bookingkit.com/pricing. And here is a quick overview of our monthly rates, Starter Kit, Business Kit, Pro Kit, that come at different feature or come with different feature sets. Again, there are discounts on longer contract periods, yearly, 2 yearlies, or maybe even beyond that. We obviously have more wiggle room to give discounts on prices. If the case is also larger, we really like going into a case-by-case calculation to see how much do you need in order to be happy, how much do we need, and then we just make it work. That said, thank you very much for listening right now and hope to see you for the demo on Thursday. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Dan, co-founder and CTO of Eola. We're based in London and have been going for about 5 years. At Eola, we love data, and I'm the chief technical officer, so I really love data. And so I thought I'd share some things we've learned over the last 5 years. Hopefully everyone here can leave with some immediate value, even if you dislike everything else I have to say. We're a very product-focused company, and so these are the results of some internal user experience testing that we've performed. If a customer feels like you are expecting them when they arrive, they are 8 times more likely to recall a positive experience. i.e., if you can begin each session right away, knowing exactly who's coming, prepared for their arrival, disclaimers, documents signed, you'll get a significantly better review and secure repeat business. Essentially, you're looking at better reviews on TripAdvisor, extra growth on top of the kind of double-edged positive sword of performing the more efficient flow, the more effective flow. If a booking journey is designed for mobile, it increases conversion by 60%. Over 80% of bookings take place on mobile, and so this is crucial. It is a must. Like, check your existing process, check your existing implementation on your phone, exactly like a customer would. It's all well and good checking to make sure that it works on desktop, but mobile is where your customers are coming from. And another one which I found personally like super interesting is that customers decide based on imagery above all else, beyond titles, beyond description, or even pricing. And so what that means is if you don't spend a single penny or moment of your time on delivering a better experience, you can improve your revenue today by uploading a picture that is better designed for your target demographic. Then you can change that tonight. And when someone books, there are roughly 40 unique pieces of information associated with that booking. We're talking names, emails, health information, disclaimers, friends, when they booked, where they booked from, how far in advance they booked, alongside much more. That means that the average business on this call will have more insight on their customers than many major retail brands out there. And I'm sure everyone here is aware of how many millions and billions of pounds retailers spend on eking out even just a small fraction of what you guys have available in terms of data. You need to make sure that your existing solution captures that information and allows you to make business decisions off the back of it. So ultimately, our goal at Eola is to capture and harness all of this data that is available to you guys. And it is my personal goal as the Chief Technical Officer to automate as much of your business as physically possible. It is my dream that you can turn up in the morning as an instructor, an accountant, a center manager, and a receptionist, and just have the daily grind be done. And everything that is put in front of you at that point are things that couldn't be realistically automated, so that you can then have a really efficient flow working through those things one by one. So a customizable and optimized booking journey gives you a huge amount of data and hopefully leaves you inundated with bookings, but that's only half the battle. How can we streamline your business so that you can deal with more customers with the same amount of resources? How do we let you deal with those extra new bookings that you've just generated? Ultimately, we want you to stop focusing on the daily operations and focus on growing your business, understanding your customers, and delivering fantastic experiences. So just before this call, I WhatsApped 4 kind of representative customers that have an annual booking volume of around 1 million. These were customers that I thought would respond fastest, so it's a relatively random selection. And I asked them to self-report what they thought their operational efficiency was before and after switching to us. The average between them was a reported 40% increase in operational effectiveness. One of them said that we tripled their efficiency and gave us single-handed credit for his multi-center business to be able to scale to the size that it did during COVID. The business exploded overnight, and we from the 4 people that I messaged, 2 of them were using like custom implementations, and 2 of them were using competitors, and we unlocked a huge amount of potential there. And one of the secrets behind that, the reason that we're able to do this so quickly as well, is using our resources system. When we were starting out and visiting customers personally, it became quite clear one of the primary blockers for continued growth was staying on top of resources. Resources are complex. You can have hundreds of activities and rentals using the same instructors, the same resources, the same boats, the same wetsuits, the same paddle boards, whatever it is. And we solved that. Believe me, it's a very difficult problem to solve and essentially unsolvable by a human, but we automate this for you. And you don't need to believe me. The proof is in the rapid expansion of already established businesses. And we're talking businesses that have been around for 10, 15, 20 years, but essentially stagnated in growth, still potentially growing a little bit, but we allowed them to grow massively in a short period of time because we allowed them to use the capacity and the resources that they already had. They didn't need to think about hiring new people. They didn't need to think about expanding new centers or acquiring new businesses or anything like that. We allowed people to make use of what they already have. If you want a deeper look into that, you can attend our demo on Thursday. Or you can head over to eola.co right away and hit get started now. Someone from our team will reach out to you for a chat and dive in with you about how we can help. We're a super customer and product focused team. So although we work with many hundreds of businesses in the UK, our growth has been primarily through recommendations and word of mouth. Remember, we're directly motivated to help you grow. So let's do it. I'm Dan, and we've been eola.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesper Verdén, and I'm one of the co-founders of Inconsu, a booking tool that is designed to help tour operators and travel agents to sell more experiences to their clients. The conceivement of our platform was when we were travel agents, and we had probably 8 or 10 tours on the table, or tours and experiences, half day, full day, multi-day. The client said, yes, please, let's book 3. We sent the confirmation to the client, and then we heard nothing from them. Maybe if we were lucky, the client called us back 3 weeks before departure and said, remember that cooking class we discussed? We would like to book it now. Then as a travel agent, you have almost the same admin to book a cooking class as to book a full trip. The only problem is that the revenue is considerably less. So we decided to fix it. So we have built a platform that connects the stakeholders in the value chain. Today, the stakeholders are living in separate boxes. The travel agency has a relationship with the traveler. The experience provider is trying to reach both the travel agency and the traveler. So our solution is to connect all three of them in one common platform with seamless connectivity. The workflow is that the experience provider loads their offers in the platform. Once it's published by the experience provider, they are queued to the travel agency for approval, or you maybe would like to adjust the pricing to make more money, or maybe increase the volumes. Once the travel agency has approved it, it goes out in the concierge platform that is sent to the traveler with the confirmation in the pre-departure email, and you can also use it in social media or in email campaigns. If you have staff at the destination, you can encourage your guests to access the platform via QR codes, for instance. Our platform is designed to sell those things that you didn't manage to include in the original package. We use fancy technology in many places, but the most important thing to know is that we have a white label solution for you, and we have APIs if you would like to integrate us in your existing solutions for your clients. The business model is fairly simple. There are no startup fees. There are no recurring fees. We work on commission only. So you can, as a travel agent or tour operator, you keep the majority of the commission. The experience provider gets their cut, and we take a small cut for helping you sell that experience that you didn't sell initially. This is a very, very short presentation. We welcome any types of questions. Pop by our website, drop me an email, or give me a ring if you want to know more. We look forward to hear from you and to demonstrate what we can do for your the agency and your clients. Thank you very much.
Hey, everybody. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your attention. I've got quite a few slides to go through. I realize that some people have really compacted that during the course of their presentations, but I'll try and flick through them very quickly. So my name is Dean Spencer, and I'm the head of business solutions here at Beyonc. I have been working for Beyonc since we launched in January of 2020, right before the pandemic, but it certainly gave us an opportunity to grow fast and learn quickly. And what we've done is we've built a really robust platform for tour operators and activity providers across the UK. I have been working in the experiences sector, working with local operators to help them optimize what they're doing online, streamline operational processes, and help them sell more for over a decade. But enough about me. I'm here to talk about Beyonc. So Beyonc is truly simple but powerful software. We built Beyonc on a platform called Svelte, which allows us to minimize the tech debt, which means that we can build and release features more quickly. At the same time, we've optimized the usability of the platform. So we've made it really easy for customers to click through and make a booking with you. So people can make a booking with you in as little as 3 or 4 clicks. And everything we've built in the back end has been built in the dashboard, has been built with simplicity in mind. We've also recognized that while there are the larger OTAs out there like TripAdvisor, Viator, Get Your Guide, to give you a marketplace to share your experiences, to sell more, we wanted to provide our operators in the UK specifically a platform to promote their business, but at a fraction of the cost. So we actually provide white label marketplace solutions to OTAs across the UK. For example, visit Cumbria, visit Cornwall, visit the Peak District, Somerset, where if you're operating in those areas, you can share your tickets across not only Beyonce's marketplace, but our third-party partners, and you only pay 6% for any bookings that come through those networks. Next, one of the things that really sets us apart from our competition is that we have 2 solutions to offer. Beyonc is highly modern. That was released in January of 2020. Majority of the operators that register for free with us, they fully onboard, integrate with their website without any interaction from us. And you can see that reflect in our Capterra reviews, which I'll show you in a minute. But Beyonc is truly powerful and has some fantastic tools like staff scheduling and resource management to help you manage your tour operators and maximize bookings. Booking Hound we acquired about 6 months ago. They've been operating in the UK for about 15 years. They're also an international platform, so we can support operators in the US, Australia, all across Europe. So we've got multi-currency, and we've considered things like time zones and VAT, all those sorts of things. And Booking Hound is highly customizable and can pretty much do everything. I'll give you a quick example of what we can do with Beyonc. So Beyonc can be fully embedded with an iframe onto your website to provide the customer with a really seamless booking experience. Once they click on an activity, you've got lots of content there to provide the customer with as much information as possible, so they're informed as possible before they make a booking. And on the right-hand side, you can see there's a nice little booking form widget where the customer can quickly and seamlessly make a booking with you. That widget can also, the booking form widget there, that square box, can be embedded on your website in different parts as well. Booking Hound, we power the brewery tours at Fuller's. We power, Fuller's had far more complex requirements around gift voucher purchase and redemption, especially with third parties. So Booking Hound was the best fit for them. And here is an example of the direct tour bookings with Booking Hound. You can see that you can add your logo, fully customize that content on the page there. You can buy direct vouchers through Booking Hound, but you've also got an option for third-party resellers to customize a redemption process. So on this page here for Virgin experiences, you can customize the checkout process so customers can enter their serial number and PIN number. So you can do that for every third party that you might have. Next here, we've got all the tools to help you maximize the profits from those booking with you. So we've got all the general stuff like instant booking, add-ons, gift vouchers, customized checkout. But if you need something more robust, we do deposits, seasonal tickets, wait listings. So if you've got highly sought after time slots on the weekends, for example, people can register with you. And if a time becomes available, they'll get a notification and they can actually book into one of those slots. We also do a lot of reports around cart abandonment, so you can resell to people who might have jumped off your page before making a booking. To manage, we've got all the usual stuff like QR scanning to welcome guests, a real-time dashboard. But if you need customer self-service to minimize those inquiries coming to the business, we've got self-service available with Booking Hound. Separately, to retain customers, we've got automated emails that go out. You can upsell products, plus you've got a way to manage memberships and stuff like that. So a lot of customizability and flexibility around how you retain those customers as well. But we're more than software. We have a really motivated, passionate, intelligent team that act as partners to our customers. We're with you at every step of the way. We want to understand what your goals are. We want to solve your problems. So at the very beginning of the sales process, if you have a problem or if you want to achieve things in the new year, we want to have a real transparent conversation with you about what those goals are, what some of those challenges are that you've been having, and we want to help you solve those in the best possible way. Onboarding, we've got a fantastic team there who can help you set everything up if you need that. Plus, we've got that support 24/7 once you do go live with us. But don't just take my word for it. Jump onto Capterra, have a look at some of the reviews there. We've got a 4.8 score out of 5, and we've got a 5 out of 5 score for customer service. So look, I hope this was enough to encourage you to join our demo on Thursday, but I hope to speak to you more then. Thanks so much.
Hey everyone, my name is Alex. I'm the founder here at Origin. We are in Boulder, Colorado, and we are building modern business tools for tour operators. So I wanted to start off this presentation with a little story. So I've never owned or operated a tour operation, never been a guide, but I've been a customer of all of these various things for basically my entire life. When I moved here to Colorado, I started booking a lot of things as I traveled around racing mountain bikes, going to new places to ski, going to new places to hike. And one thing became clear as I went and booked all these things in all these various different places was the fact that everything was still offline. Even if the tour operator was using an online platform, like some of the platforms that have been presenting today, some of the sponsors of the show, they handled things on the website, right? But everything on the back end still was with pen and paper. And it came to a point where I booked something out in Ouray, Colorado, which is also known as the Switzerland of America. I've been to Switzerland. I don't really think it's the same thing, but it's pretty close to, it's the closest thing that we have. I ended up booking something online. It was an awesome trip. I was super excited for it. Booked, paid, got my confirmations all online. And 30 minutes later, got a text from the owner and the operator saying, hey, sorry, we were overbooked. There was a glitch in the system. We don't have any guides available. We're going to have to refund you. But the platform is holding on to our money, and we're going to have to refund you through PayPal. So this guy actually refunded me through his personal PayPal, through his personal savings, because his platform was holding on to their money, wasn't releasing refunds, and the platform overbooked them, and they couldn't control whether or not they actually had availability or not. So myself and our team here in Boulder, we started talking to other operators to figure out this problem. And we realized that even if someone is using something to take bookings, to sell tickets, whatever that might be online, they were completely offline on the back-end processes. So we built something to solve that. I think is my screen shared? I can't tell. Oops. Maybe I need to share it again. But so basically, we built our entire platform really around this problem. So if you can see my screen here, we have a totally visual system. There are no rules. There are no constraints that you have to set. If you want to set your calendar, you want to set your availability, you can do that in a very Google Calendar-like system. You can click in to each one of these different trips, different availabilities on the calendar, and you can see all of your guides who are available. And that's because every guide actually has their own schedule. So we allow each business to go in, customize all of the different permission levels that you might have. So if someone can only do mountain biking, if someone can only do fishing, if someone can only do a Segway tour, you can customize that. So the guide only gets booked for the things that they are the best at. And you're not going to ever get a cross booking, overbooking, and your guides have complete control over their calendar. If someone needs to add block time, they can go in, add a block time, and that'll update the availability shown on your website right here. So this is what Origin looks like on your website. It doesn't take any coding to install, just one copy and paste link. You can go click on a date. You can go click around. You can see the availability automatically changing, and that's because there are different amounts of guides available on each day, which alters the availability. So basically, our entire goal was to eliminate overbookings by making sure that every one of your resources, which is really guides, if you are a tour guiding company, has control of their schedule, so nothing gets overbooked. So we can go in, we can go and book this tour right here. Everything stays right here on their website, even on mobile. So I'm sure a lot of operators out there are used to redirecting to subdomains, redirecting to everything else on mobile. Origin stays on your website. Your customers will never see another domain ever, which is awesome. It empowers you and your company and your brand to really take ownership of the entire process. And you can customize things like the different information that you collect at checkout. And with our internal waiver system, even if you have multiple people in your group, you're not going to bog down the checkout with having to answer all these questions for everyone else in your group. When they sign the waiver, they'll fill out all the questions. It's a super fast process. And we will even notify you, the owner, and your guides if people haven't signed their waiver. So we can come in here to the dashboard and we can see here that we have some trips booked. One of these is a public or open trip, so meaning that multiple different people in different parties can book this thing until it's all full, or private, where even if one group books with 2 people, it's shut out. No one else can book that same group. We can see here that 2 guides were assigned to this trip, and that's because the group size met a certain threshold to assign 2 guides automatically. We can do everything automatically. We can assign guides. You can rank guides in priority level where you want them to be assigned. All of this to help save you time and to eliminate overbookings, so customers on your website can book more confidently than ever. So we are really focused on that, and we're excited to show you more functionality on Thursday if you come to our demo. So excited to see you there. Thank you for your time. And again, I'm Alex. I'm in Boulder, Colorado. I'm the founder of Origin, and we are really catered to the US tour operators, but we are opening up a wait list of European and other operators outside of the US. So really excited to meet and connect with everyone. And thanks you for the Tourpreneur community for putting this on. This is super cool. So yeah, thank you.
Well, that was quite the day.
I'm exhausted.
Him too. We are at the end of all of our fantastic presentations today, and I'm a little blown away just by the diversity of products, presenters, ways they approach their technology, and what they chose to highlight. We're just going to do a really quick 2-minute recap right now, and then let everybody go relax. Peter, takeaways from today.
Yeah, so the takeaways there, guys, is make sure we've got 48 hours now to watch these as many times as you want. Make sure you watch them. Make sure you write down some questions for the demos that you're going to attend on Thursday. Remember, these demos are not recorded. These were recorded. The demos are not recorded, so you have to show up on the demo you want to attend on Thursday. This is your chance to actually get engaged with the Restechs. Going forward, moving into 2023, we're going to introduce over 200 technology businesses to the community. So it's going to be this is just day one of a very big program to introduce hundreds and hundreds of technology businesses to the community to save you the time searching about and trying to find them hard answers. We're going to make you get them answers easier.
So at various points over today, we've had 204 different tourpreneurs come and stop by and watch these pitches. Chris, what's your takeaway?
Yeah, a bit like what you mentioned, there's a diversity. You know, you can get a lot of operators who think all Restech are the same, but they're actually, even I was surprised at the diversity amongst all the different services and products and tech that they were all displaying. And I think, if any operator out there is really looking to look at the Restech, look to change, or looking to jump on board, then you really need to get into these demos. It's the best way of knowing if that particular Restech will fit your business, because not every Restech will fit every business. So I think those demo days are going to be invaluable to a lot of the operators.
I think the final word is going to be that Thursday's event joining information is going to be different than today. It won't be streamed into the group. It's going to be on a different platform. And so we'll be emailing out that joining instruction tomorrow. So you have tonight to RSVP, and I put it into the Facebook group chat to RSVP for Thursday. Thursday is going to be 3 hours of demonstrations, but you're going to get to walk around a virtual floor and go into the companies that you were interested in from today. Our software directory, tourpreneur.com/software, that lists the 20-some companies that presented today. That's where the videos are going to be, where website links are going to be, and we'll be editing this day up ASAP to have those ready tonight. We'll give you tomorrow to do your research and everything. RSVP today, and then you'll join us into the virtual networking lounge on Thursday to interact one-on-one or 3-on-1 with the presenters as they hold court in their virtual booths. So we're really excited about that day. And for those of you that are interested in this topic, then you have your work cut out for you over the next couple of days. But we do appreciate everybody who dropped by at some point throughout today for joining us live. It was really great. And the end, unless Peter or Chris, you have any last words.
Nope, just keep watching these videos and make sure you turn up for Thursday, or I'll be shouting a lot.
Yes. Yeah. This is designed to yell at people in the group if you ask this question in the future, because we are creating these for free in order to give you a wealth of support and answers for that. So we really appreciate you being part of the group and joining us. And for those of you watching on LinkedIn and YouTube, thank you all. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.